All right, Chairman.
Thanks. Good afternoon. The Board of Adjustment is now in session. My name is Anthony Robinson, and I will be chairing today's meeting. Attending today's virtual meeting are board members Mona Parsley, Joe Klitzing, Mel DeSimone, and Jim Dallas. Also in attendance for the city is Mary Hart Burton, zoning administrator for the city, Evan Winkler, community development planner for the city, who will represent the city in the cases we are hearing today, Andrea Gutierrez, lead zoning specialist. Our attorney for the board is Mia Wood, and our court reporter is Mallory Daniel. Today, we will be hearing 5 cases. First, we will hear from the city's representative, who will explain why the permit could not be issued. Next, we will hear from the petitioner and/or their representative. Please be prepared to explain your hardship and answer any inquiries from the board members. Then we will hear from those in favor of the appeal and then from those opposed. Please be concise, as testimony will be limited to 3 minutes per person. When you come online via video or telephone, please wait to be sworn in by the court reporter, and then please state your name and mailing address. To ensure proper records for our court reporter, we ask that those online or by telephone to please remain on mute. Following testimony on all of today's cases, the board will go into its deliberative portion of the hearing, at which time we will vote on all cases heard. The board will notify each applicant and/or their representative of its decision in about 2 weeks. You're welcome to remain during our deliberations. However, we will not hear additional testimony at that time. You may also call the lead zoning specialist, Drea, tomorrow at 314-622-3666 to learn the outcome of your appeal. Again, that number is 314-622-3666. Drea, will you please read appeal number 20600?
Appeal number 20600, 8212 Alabama Avenue.
All right, Mallory, I'll be sworn in each time.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Evan Winkler, Community Development Planner for the City of St. Louis, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner. I'm here to present evidence of an appeal to operate a used auto sales business, no body work, no detailing, no painting, and no repairs at 8212 Alabama Avenue. I'd like to present as evidence for this case, aerials and photos of the said property, plans for the project, and a certified copy of the City of St. Louis zoning ordinance. The basis for denial of doing business as Blue Dot Auto Group concerning the building commissioner's refusal to issue an occupancy permit authorizing the petitioner to operate an automobile sales used, no repair at 8212 Alabama Avenue in city block number 3214.00 is as follows. The present zoning for this address is F, Neighborhood Commercial District. The intent of the applicable zoning provisions are to fix reasonable standards to which buildings and structures shall conform. The applicable zoning code provisions are section 26.40.020 and/or 26.40.025. Use regulations and conditional uses in the F Neighborhood Commercial District do not allow the appellant's proposal as stated above. Evidence of lawful nonconformity has not been presented. So in summary, the applicant's applying for their occupancy permit to operate an automobile sales business of used cars. There will be no repair. It's located in the F Neighborhood Commercial District, which does not allow for auto sales. Therefore, a use variance would be required prior to approval. The City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency states that there's no adopted neighborhood plan that covers this area, and that the 2025 Strategic Land Use Plan identifies this as a medium intensity corridor. And these are areas that are intended to be pedestrian focused and designed to accommodate people arriving via foot, bus, and bicycle. These areas discourage automobile-related commercial activities as well as commercial activities that utilize drive-through windows. The intent of this district is to create pedestrian-oriented environment that discourages automobile-related activities. Therefore, planning staff finds the request of appeal number 20600 is not in keeping with the city's comprehensive plan. Are there any questions from the board?
Okay, let's hear from the appellant, Mr. Cooley. You're unmuted, but we cannot hear you. Okay, so actually have two Mr. Cooleys, two Jerome Cooleys here, and one is unmuted, but we can't hear you. The other one is muted, so we cannot hear you. So I'm going to say the Mr. Cooley that looks to be in a vehicle is talking and you are muted. So unless you can unmute yourself, we cannot hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. So I hear. Let's call it.
Junior.
Yeah, Jerome
Jerome
Cooley
Cooley
Jr.
Jr. Yep.
All right. Which of the Jerome Cooleys would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay. Let's get you sworn in, Mr. Cooley.
Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Yep. Name is Jerome Cooley Jr. Mailing address 14255 Monda Blue Lane, Florissant, 63034.
Okay. Proceed with your testimony.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, 8212 Alabama is actually a property that me and my fiance owned and have owned for a few years now. Initially, it was a child care center. However, after low enrollment for this child care center, we had to close its doors. And
Mr. Cooley, we lost.
I know you lost me. I'm back.
Okay.
Got me. Okay. Yep. So there was low enrollment in the child care center, essentially for various reasons. In the area, however, we had to close the doors to the child care center. And the next best thing that I see that we could do with the property is this used car lot. So I did meet with members of the neighborhood association at the property to kind of talk about my plans. They discussed their concerns, about other car lots or similar used car businesses in the area. What we plan on doing is almost opposite of what they're doing. We don't plan to have an overload of vehicles, derelict vehicles on public roadways and public parking spaces. Almost everything that they're doing, we plan on doing the opposite of.
Trying to listen.
I want to make sure I'm still on.
You're good.
Okay. Yep. So that was the thing. And Ms. Ann Schweitzer gave her opinion and listed a list of different conditions that we would be expected to abide by, and we have no issues with doing those things. So I did send that information in that letter. I can go over it, her requirements or her discrepancies with it, but everything that she listed, we have no issues with abiding by and cooperating with, and we do align with the alderwoman on that.
Okay, yes, we've got the letter. Um, any board members have any questions? Joe?
What would be the hours of operation?
So the hours of operation of this car lot would be from 9 a. I'm
We got
sorry,
it
my
9, but we didn't get anything else.
yep, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday.
How many cars do you plan on having on the lot?
No more than 3 at a time.
Okay. Um, Evan, we have standard conditions for this type of operation?
We do. I do want a quick question follow-up. Where on the lot do you plan to park these 3 vehicles? And the reason I bring that up is because there's actually an adjacent parcel to the south that appears to be parking spaces, but is actually on a separate parcel.
Is this separate parcel? Is it going in the direction of that liquor store on the corner? Because there's a the Carondelet food patch on one end,
It's directly south. So
and then on the other
if you drove
directly
into
south.
the
That's where the
driveway
gate at.
from
That's part
Alabama,
of that's where the gate at.
Mr. Cooley, you cannot speak until you're sworn in.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. So if you look at the aerial image that I sent over, there's going to be markings for parking lot markings on the lot. So that is a part of the same property. If we're talking about the same piece of land, where you see
yeah.
those parking spaces, yeah, that's on that same lot. So the cars would be parked there.
So it's actually not on the same lot, which is why I'm bringing it up.
Mm,
And so when we grant variances, it's for the specific parcel. So I just wanted to make sure, I wasn't sure if you were aware it's actually a separate parcel.
so, okay, so Evan, maybe I'm confused. So I am looking at, um, oh, let's see what we have here. Exhibit 6.
It's
And
letter G. It looks like
is that
6.
G? I'm sorry. Exhibit G.
Right.
So the red highlighted area is the property line.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Cooley, is your lot, your parking lot, and where you intend to park the vehicles, is that at the back of the property,
Behind the building?
behind the building?
It is not. No, it's not in the back of the property.
So it's to the side of the property.
Correct.
Okay. So with that, Evan does in fact have questions for you.
Yeah, I mean, so the kind of short answer is we would need a second application for that second lot. If the board would choose to grant a variance or exception to the law, it's based on the conditions of that parcel. And so although you have the same entrance to essentially access those parking spots, it's on a separate parcel. And so the application would need to be amended to include that parcel as part of the site, should the board be able to grant a variance.
Do you have that parcel number for me, please?
I can get it for you in just a second. I'll have to look it up here.
Yeah.
In the meantime, maybe Dre could read the conditions. So, Mr. Cooley, these are standard conditions that the board typically attaches to a variance for this type, should the board choose to grant the variance. If you have any questions or concerns about any of the conditions, now's the time to talk about them with the board members. And I'll look up that parcel number while Dre is doing that.
Please. Okay, thank you.
So standard conditions are: one, the entire parking/vehicle display area on the exterior of the premises shall be paved and striped. Parking area shall be striped so as to substantially conform to the width and depth layout standards for parking spaces as provided for in section 26.16.080D of the zoning code. 2, parking lot layout shall be submitted to and approved by the zoning administrator before the building/occupancy permit is issued. 3, vehicles parked on lot shall be in approved parking spaces. All spaces shall be equipped with approved bollards or wheel stops so as to prohibit vehicles encroaching on public right-of-way or private property. Parking layout spaces shall be labeled vehicles for sale, customer parking, employee parking, or any other uses if multiple businesses are on this property. Spaces shall be labeled for each business separately. That was condition number 4. Condition number 5, vehicles owned by petitioner are prohibited from being parked or sold on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. 6, vehicle access egress from lot shall only be permitted utilizing established curb cuts and driveways on premises. No access/egress of vehicles shall be permitted across sidewalks or curbs. 7, the stringing of lights, flags, or streamers on the premises is prohibited. 8, any parking area lighting to be installed shall be installed on metal or masonry poles with underground wiring and shall not exceed 22 feet in height, and adjusted so that no more than 0.5-foot candles measured at grade falls on any abutting residential use premises. These improvements shall not be installed until approvals and permits are received from all appropriate city agencies. 9, there shall be no exterior signage on the premises until separate approvals and permits are received from all appropriate city agencies. This shall include mobile commander boards and balloons on tethers. 10, exterior amplified intercom systems, ringing phone systems, or music systems are prohibited. 11, the existing building or buildings on the premises, if any, shall be completely repaired and restored pursuant to all applicable zoning and building codes. These improvements shall not be installed until approvals and permits are received from all appropriate city agencies. 12, there shall be no storage of derelict or salvage vehicles permitted on subject premises or on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. All vehicles shall be in operable condition. 13, there shall be no vehicular, mechanical, or body repair or spray painting permitted on subject premises or on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. 14, there shall be no open storage of auto, mechanical, or body parts, batteries, tires, motor oil, or other automotive fluids or refuse of any nature on subject premises or on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. 15, there shall be no salvage of parts from vehicles on subject premises. 16, the hours of operation are limited to the 9 to 3, Monday through Friday, as you testified. And there shall be no, 17 is there shall be no cord or rope type LED lighting surrounding or framing windows or doors. 18, the petitioner shall provide a commercial dumpster and establish a trash removal contract through a private source for regular pickups and maintain the entire premises in a clean and orderly appearance at all times. 19, the petitioner shall provide a refuse container on the exterior of the premises for use by the customers and shall be emptied on a daily basis or more if needed. If another container is needed due to the level of business, it shall also be provided. 20, there shall be no vending, ATM machines, or payphones on the exterior of the premises at any given time. 21, the premises shall not be issued a public nuisance notice pursuant to ordinance number 68535 or its successor ordinances.
Mr. Cooley, do you have any issues with any of the items that Drea mentioned?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do any other board members have any questions?
Jim Dallas. Anthony.
Yes. Yes, Jim.
Hi, Mr. Cooley. Were you intending to use that lot that is, from an aerial view is striped with several spots? Were you intending to use that lot or hoping to use that lot?
Yeah, I was under the impression that it was all the same parcel of land.
I do have an address and parcel ID number. It's 8216-18 Alabama, parcel ID 3214000360. And it looks like it's under ownership of actually the city of St. Louis.
And another follow-up question I have is the 8212 address is the city's records appear that it's Curtis Seals. Is that the fiance that you mentioned, Mr. Cooley?
It is. Yes, it is.
Okay. That's all my questions, Anthony.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Any other board members have any questions?
I had a quick question.
Mona? Yes.
Mr. Cooley?
Yes.
So at this situation, we can move forward and grant you the 3 cars if the board decides to, if you want to park them in the rear. Right now, you're in a conundrum from what I see, because of the second parcel. So, in my opinion, your best option today would be to regroup and park these cars in the rear so you would be able to move forward and then deal with the second parcel at a later date. Would that be an option that you are okay with? So we don't have to postpone and let you regroup and you could move forward if we all agree with that when we go into deliberations?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Great. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
That's all my questions.
Okay. Any other board
quick,
members?
I got one other question. And you do have or plan to get a dumpster of some sort? You don't have to have a giant one. You could do a little pull-out one.
Yeah. So we had one there before. So
Okay.
yes, that would be in the plans. Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Okay, thank you, Mr. Cooley. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal? Okay, is there anyone here to testify in opposition to this appeal? Hearing none, I will read into the record exhibits, certified copy of the zoning ordinance, appeal to the board, basis of denial, meeting notice letter, city journal public notices, photographs, Sanborn maps, memo from planning and urban design, a letter of support with conditions from Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer, a copy of official policy and operating standards submitted by petitioner, and an aerial map submitted by petitioner. And with that, I will consider this appeal having been heard. Drea, can you read appeal number 20601?
Appeal number 20601, 4701 South Broadway.
Mr. Winkler, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Again, good afternoon. My name is Evan Winkler, Community Development Planner for the City of St. Louis, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner. I'm here to present evidence of an appeal to operate a used auto sales business with detailing and repairs and the sale of new and used tires, however, no body work at 4701 South Broadway. I'd like to present as evidence for this case photos and aerials of the said property, plans for the project, and a certified copy of the City of St. Louis zoning ordinance. The basis for denial of exclusive auto sales LLC concerning the building commissioner's refusal to issue an occupancy permit authorizing the petitioner to operate an automobile sales used with repair at 4701 South Broadway in city block number 2756.00 is as follows. The present zoning for this address is F, Neighborhood Commercial District. The intent of the applicable zoning provisions are to conserve the values of property throughout the city of St. Louis and protect the character and stability of residential, business, and industrial areas. It's also to regulate and restrict the location and use of buildings, structures, and land for trade, industry, residence, and other uses, and to regulate and restrict the intensity of such uses. The applicable zoning code provisions are section 26.16.010, use is prohibited. No structure or land shall be used for use other than those permitted in the district in which such premises are located, unless such use is permitted by other provisions of the zoning code. Also, section 26.40.020 and or 26.40.025, use regulations and conditional use summary. Use regulations and conditional uses of the F Neighborhood Commercial District do not allow the appellant's proposal as stated above. Evidence of lawful nonconformity has not been presented. In summary, the applicant is applying for an occupancy permit to operate a used auto sales that will have repair as well as the sale of tires at this address in the F district. Auto sales, tire sales, auto repair are not permitted uses in the F district. Therefore, a use variance would be required prior to approval. The City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency states that there's no adopted neighborhood plan covering this location. The 2025 Strategic Land Use Plan identifies this as a medium intensity neighborhood. This designation describes areas of the city that are primarily residential with many types of housing and limited types of commercial activity. Specifically, this designation actively discourages automobile-related businesses such as auto repair. And the intent of the district is to create a pedestrian-oriented environment, discouraging auto-related activities. Therefore, planning staff finds the request of appeal number 20601 is not in keeping with the city's comprehensive plan. Are there any questions from the board?
What would be your hours of operation?
Well, we would have to have them sworn in and testified.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you don't have questions for me.
No, I don't have anything for you. I was reading something else and wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
All right. Any other board, or do any board members have any questions for Evan? Let's hear from the appellant. Mr.
You guys hear
Kazami,
me? Yes, sir.
let's get you sworn in.
Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Yes, sir. My name is Raza Kazami. My mailing address is 16643 Sterling Point Court, Chesterfield, Missouri, 63005.
Okay. Go ahead with your testimony.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I'm here to request a variance for a property me and my business partner and also my brother we recently purchased at 4701 South Broadway. That's why we're here. I wanted to take a second and just tell you guys a little bit about us. We came here originally from Afghanistan about 25 years ago, as refugees. We grew up in South City. We went to school in South City as well. I actually went to Roosevelt High School, and I own a business right next to it now. The reason why we're asking for a variance is because the location we currently are is not big enough anymore for us when we would like to expand, and it's not suitable for our inventory or our customers anymore. Do you want to add it?
Okay. Any board members have any questions?
I do, Anthony.
Yes, Jim.
Jen.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Kazami. Do you plan to move from the Gravois location or operate two locations?
No, we will be operating two locations. We want to expand because the location we are right now, the space is constrained, and I think in the past 10 years we've been here, I think we got 1 or 2 complaints from the city saying that we were parking cars on the side, and that is because our business is growing and we are looking to expand to a second location. That's one of the main reasons.
Okay, and to steal Joe's thunder, what are your planned hours of operation?
We will be open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 4.
Closed on Sundays.
Yes, sir. Yes, the
Okay.
law use dealerships, we have to be closed.
Of course. And do you currently have the same range of services at your Gravois location?
Yes, sir. As far as sales, but we don't have space to do repairs or anything else. But as far as the car sales, majority of our cars starts around 6,500, 7,000. And at this location, we're currently only doing sales.
So only sales of cars, no sales of tires.
No, sir, no. No repairs or any used tires or new tires.
Okay, do you do detailing at the current location?
Yes, I have one big garage, and that's all we do is just clean the cars here.
So do you only detail your own cars that are for sale, or do you have a
Yes,
general detailing business?
No, just the cars that's in the inventory.
Okay, and at the new location, it'll be the same as far as the detailing, only detail the cars that you have for sale?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have, Anthony. Thank you, Mr. Kazami.
No problem.
Mary. You're muted, Mary.
Thank you. This question is for Mr. Kazami. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the address of your Gravois location that you currently operate?
3181 Gravois Avenue,
Okay,
St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Will you be doing repairs for the general public or just for your cars?
Just for my cars.
Mr. Kazami,
Yes, ma'am.
if we put that condition, if we allowed this, if we put that condition on you, that would be fine, correct? That you could not do repairs for the general public.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and we
Yeah.
would not allow you to do detailing for the general public.
Yes, that's fine as well.
And
what-
tire repair. Would
Yes,
you
ma'am.
do tire repair for the general public? That would be something you wanted to do, correct?
Yes, because the property is a big warehouse. I can fit maybe 200-300 cars. I don't have the investment, the capital to fill up the whole lot with cars right now. So I was looking to get service license as well, just so that way I can work on my cars, and basically if I'm in a position to invest money and sell used and new cars, I want to be able to do that. Because the location, like I said, is 3 parcel land. It's big enough. It's a big warehouse right at the entrance of
Right.
industrial area. And another thing I did look up was all the car lots in South Broadway are Zone F commercial. and they all have licenses for sales.
Okay, yeah, I know it's crazy. It
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
matter what they're doing. It matters what we're doing here. So
Correct.
let's
Yeah.
talk about the number of cars because the way that we are doing things today are different than the way things have happened in the past. Because
Yes, ma'am.
some of these car places have been a little on the abusive side with the city, as far as I'm concerned.
I got you.
Okay? What
Yes.
we want to see, if this gets approved,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that the lot would be striped according to the laws that parking lots are dealt with. And it's like 9 feet wide by 19 feet long. And they have to be done in accordance with the zoning. And Evan, help me when I speak irrationally wrong here. But there is a thing that you set up, and then you have to go down to the zoning, and they say you present it to them, and they go, "Hey, is this right?" And they go, "Yes" or "No," and they slap you on the wrist, and they say, "Try again,"
Yes, ma'am.
kind of thing. And we would want you to present a parking lot to them, and they would say, "Yes, you can do that."
Yes,
We
yes,
don't want to
I have.
see your parking lot where you have them so jammed in there. You got to move 6 cars to get one out.
No, it's not
We-
gonna be like that. And
Okay.
I don't have no issue striping the parking lot. The parking lot for customers, handicap, and the cars that's gonna be parked, it's already striped. But I'm willing to redo everything and just bring the appearance of the building, paint the building. I have already done. I cut all the grass. I cut
I
all
saw
the
that. I
weeds.
drove by. I checked
Yes.
this out.
Yes, ma'am. I cleaned up the alleyway. There was a lot of bushes and weed growing.
hmm
I have already installed a $5,000 camera system because they already broke into that property already twice and stole the AC units. The property was vacant for, I think, close to 3 years. What else did we do? We already installed camera, and I already got a couple of quotes from different companies as far as redoing the parking lot and striping it again.
Okay.
So, yes.
Let's talk about tires real quick. I'm going to jump around on you here a little bit.
Yes.
Tires, they can be outside during the day.
Yes.
They have to go inside at
Yes.
night. You
Of course.
cannot store used tires outside ever. You have to have some kind of system in place to pick those tires up, those used tires, and take them somewhere else. Do you have, what's the system?
Yes, we do, ma'am. The building is 9,000 square foot with a basement. So we have plenty of space. The only thing maybe we will have outside if we do get the tire is maybe a tire display stand, which will go inside the garage during night. And it will be just out in the open, maybe by the garage door during business hours. But as far as used tires or new tires, they're all gonna be stored inside the building. Like I said, it's a 9,000 square foot building.
It's big.
It's made for repair shop and sales. So I have plenty of parking. I will not be parking no cars outside on the side street or on the sidewalk or on Broadway. So everything is going to be inside.
How many cars do you want to have for sale outside, sir?
Well, the parking lot, I can probably fit over 100 cars, so I really don't want to have limitation. But
No, you're going to have limitation. So
Okay.
let's talk about it.
Okay, so I would say at least 50 because that's what will fit right in the front row as far as the spots that's already been striped. But I do have space on the alley side. You know, I can fit 30, 40 cars over there. That's not going to be in the view of public. So once I get the cars in, if they're not for sale, I can put a sticker that it's not for sale and it could be just in the back.
And those cars would be not for sale. What would they be if they're
No,
not for sale?
getting ready as far as like getting detailed, if it needs oil change stuff, the cars, the inventory.
Coming soon kind of cars?
Exactly, the inventory that we just purchased. So
Okay.
those will not be in display, will be in the back or side of the building.
Okay. And then you would have customer parking?
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, there's already Stripe. There was a Spire building for I think 20
Right.
years, and then after Spire left, uh, it was vacant for about 3 years. And then a dent hail group that removes dent from the cars for hail damages. They were there about 3 months, and they did want it to stay. And I thought that they already got the occupancy permit because it is like a auto repair. So when
Right.
we purchased it, I didn't think it was gonna be
Dent Wizard, with Dent Wizard, I think it was.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, they were there for about 3 months and they did want it to stay longer. They said, if you guys purchase the property, can we stay longer? And we did agree, but unfortunately the owner passed away, so they had to close the business and left.
Got it. Got it.
Ma'am.
Okay. So you're going to sell tires to the general public and you're going to sell cars to the general public. That's
Yes.
are the two things that you're planning on doing. You're
Yes.
not going to do auto repair for the general public. You're not going to do car cleaning, detailing for the general public. Just those two things. Anything else?
No, ma'am, that's all.
Hours are 9 to 6 and 9 to 4 on Saturdays, closed on Sundays.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you hear all of the things that were read on the previous hearing on Alabama?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Those are the same things, aren't they, Evan? That we typically have, or is it different?
No, those are the standard conditions. I mean,
Do we need to read those
I think-
again to you,
I think we need to
Mr.
read-
yeah.
Because
No, I'm pretty familiar, and I did
Oh, no.
get a lot of support letters from other car dealerships, also other Afghan
We have those.
refugees. Yes, ma'am, that we have helped. So I'm pretty familiar. Like I said, we've been here in South City, right next to Roosevelt, for about 10 years, and we haven't had no complaints. The only complaint was that we parked the car on the on the sidewalk because of the space constraint. So, and it was.
wow, we don't like that.
Yes,
at
ma'am.
all.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we want to expand, so we can avoid that, because we want to keep the neighborhood clean, and I want to be in good terms with the city. So, but 10
Okay.
years, no complaint, so we take care of our property. And like I said, I have helped so many other members of the community open their own businesses, and they did write me a letter of support. And we met with the neighborhood, Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Association, and we answered all their questions and whatever concern they had. I told them whatever they need me to do, I'm willing to work with them, bring the appearance of the property more better. So go ahead. So
Rosa,
Did
I
you-
actually do need to read those standard conditions into the
We're
record.
going to read those to you again in a second. Did you
Okay.
see the letter that Mount Pleasant had some conditions on there? Did you see that?
yes, ma'am, I have it right here.
Oh, you have it. So you're okay with all their conditions.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that would restrict us from doing business. So yeah, all those
right, I'm
regulations.
gonna let the city read those conditions to you again, just to get it on the record. And then Mr. Dallas has other questions, and I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay.
Thank you, Mona. Should I ask my questions now, Evan, or wait till after the conditions are read?
It's up to the chairman.
Go ahead, Jim.
So Mr. Kazami, you're expanding your business from what you have now. What are your capabilities regarding repairs and tire sales? What experience do you have, I guess is what I'm asking. And how many bays are there at the new location for you to use for installing, taking tires on and off and repairing? I want to make sure that repairs aren't being done out on the parking lot.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The building, like I said, is 9,000 square foot. It has 3 bays. As far as used tire sales, I don't have no expertise, but I do have a couple of contractors that I've been working with over the past 10 years, and they're willing to join my group as far as becoming my mechanic to do repairs on my cars. And they do have a job at the moment, which they are doing repairs and tire sales. So I have already spoke to them, and I have people lined up that's going to be taking those positions. And they're also from the community. So I'm creating more jobs for the community. But yeah, I already have those guys lined up. So once I get the license, they're ready to move in with me.
Thank you. Evan, is this the only step that he would need to follow in order to make repairs? And or is that a separate process if that's an appropriate question?
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Anthony, let me know if this isn't a proper question, but to go forward with repairs and sale of tires that he does not do at
Yes.
his current Gravois location.
Yes, so if the board should approve this is his final step. Mary, before Evan, you read it.
I've got a question.
Yes, Mel.
Mr. Kazami, you said something just at the very end. You said they're ready to move in with me. Now, do you mean they're going to move in with you at that location? Or are they moving in with you with a group? Because what I don't want to do is have saying, I don't do repairs for the Petroleum Public, but this man over here whose business it is has moved in with me. They're doing repairs. So what did you mean when they said they're going to move in with you?
I meant like they're going to be working with me as one of my employees as far as getting my cars ready and working on my cars.
They will not be on your premises, though.
They will be. They're not going to be living there, but they are going to be there during business hours.
And they'll be it's not their business. It's your business.
Yeah, it's going to be under exclusive auto sales, and I will be issuing them a 1099 at the end of the year. So they will be a contractor, but yeah, they're going to be only working on my cars. They're not going to be working on public cars or bringing other people's car to work in that property.
That's all I want to make sure of, because the way you said that, I wanted to clarify exactly how it was going to happen. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah. Mary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, this question is for Mr. Kazami.
Yes, ma'am.
So the cars that you're referring to as coming soon, like the ones that you still need to do some things to before they're for sale, will those cars be operable?
Yeah, we don't buy stuff from like Copart or IAA that's already salvaged. We buy majority of our inventory that we buy might just need an oil change or brakes and rotors, stuff like that. So what I mean is like a mechanic hasn't checked it, it hasn't been inspected, so we don't know if it's safe for it to be on the road. So that's what I mean by those cars not being ready. We usually have them inspected. We have a mechanic go through everything, make sure it's safe and it is going to pass inspection, and it gets detailed, and then after all of those check marks are marked, that's when it goes for sale.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem.
Evan, if you could read the conditions now.
All right, standard conditions. Number 1, the entire parking vehicle display area on the exterior of the premises shall be paved and striped. Parking areas shall be striped so as to substantially conform to the width and depth layout standards for parking spaces as provided for in section 26.16.080D of the zoning code. Number 2, parking lot layout shall be submitted to and approved by the zoning administrator before the building or occupancy permit is issued. Number 3, vehicles parked on the lot shall be in approved parking spaces. All spaces shall be equipped with approved bollards or wheel stops so as to prohibit vehicles encroaching on the public right-of-way or private property. Number 4, parking lot layout spaces shall be labeled vehicles for sale, vehicles for customer parking, and vehicles for employee parking, or any other distinct uses. If multiple businesses are on this property, spaces shall be labeled for each business separately. Number 5, vehicles owned by petitioner are prohibited from being parked or sold on the public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. Number 6, vehicle access egress from lot shall only be permitted utilizing established curb cuts and driveways on premises. No access egress of vehicles shall be permitted across sidewalks or curb cuts. Number 7, the stringing of lights, flags, or streamers on the premises is prohibited. Number 8, any parking area lighting to be installed shall be installed on metal or masonry poles with underground wiring and shall not exceed 22 feet in height and adjusted so that no more than 0.5-foot candles measured at grade falls on any abutting residentially used premises. These improvements shall not be installed until approvals and permits are received from all appropriate city agencies. Number 9, there shall be no exterior signage installed on premises until separate approvals and permits are received from all appropriate city agencies. This shall include mobile commander boards and balloons on tethers. Number 10, exterior amplified intercom systems, phone ringing systems, or music systems are prohibited. Number 11, the existing building on the premises, if any, shall be completely repaired and restored pursuant to all applicable zoning and building codes. These improvements shall not be installed until approvals and permits are received from all appropriate city agencies. Number 12, there shall be no storage of derelict or salvage vehicles permitted on subject premises or on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. All vehicles shall be in operable condition. Number 13, there shall be no vehicular, mechanical, or body repair or spray painting permitted on the subject premises or on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. Number 14, there shall be no open storage of automechanical or body parts, batteries, tires, motor oil, or other automotive fluids or refuse of any nature on subject premises or on public streets, alleys, or sidewalks adjacent to this location. Number 15, there shall be no salvage of parts from vehicles on subject premises. Number 16, hours of operation will be limited to what you have testified to here today. Number 17, there shall be no cord or rope type LED lighting surrounding or framing windows and doors. 18, the petitioner shall provide a commercial dumpster and establish a trash removal contract through a private source for regular pickups and maintain the entire premises in a clean and orderly appearance at all times. Number 19, the petitioner shall provide a refuse container on the exterior of the premises for use by the customers and shall be emptied on a daily basis or more if needed. If another container is needed due to the level of business, it shall also be provided. Number 20, there shall be no vending, ATM machines or payphones on the exterior of the premises at any given time. And number 21, the premises shall not be issued a public nuisance notice pursuant to Ordinance 68535 or its successor ordinances. Any questions about any of those?
No, sir.
Okay. Any other board members have any questions? Thank you, Mr. Kazami. Is there anyone here to testify in favor of this appeal?
I am.
Ms. Fox, let's get you sworn in. Are you calling by phone or do you have a camera?
I'm on my iPhone.
Okay.
Miss Fox.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can your camera be turned on so I can swear you in?
Sure. I'm a safe time.
I don't see her on the call anymore.
I don't either.
Okay, we will come back. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal? Okay, we'll give Ms. Fox a couple of minutes to see if she...
Chairman, number 314-458-2677 just entered the meeting. Are you Ms. Fox?
Okay.
Oh, now we have another one joining. There we go.
Ms.
Ms.
Fox is
Fox,
back.
Yes.
there you go. If you could raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, could you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Yes, my name is Rebecca Fox and I live at 8209 McKenzie Road, 63123.
Go ahead with your testimony.
I just wanted to say I've been a real estate agent for 2.5 decades, and I grew up in this neighborhood. And I represented them in the transaction. This building is absolutely perfect for this use, and I feel like owner occupants running a business, a family-owned business with experience, is something that the city should really consider. And they're very good people, and they're honest.
Okay, any board members have any questions?
How long have you been working with these clients?
For about a year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board members? Thank you, Ms. Fox.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal? Okay, is there anyone here to testify in opposition to this appeal?
I am Mark Widman.
Okay, Mr. Woodman, let's get you sworn in. And do you have a camera?
I do. Can you see me?
No, we've got a blank screen.
Chairman,
Looks like
he's on two different, he's got his phone up and then he's also on the screen with his hand raised.
The computer seemed to be lacking my image, so my
gotcha.
assistant's got the phone up also, and there's my image.
I see. Okay. All right, Mr. Woodman.
Okay.
Good.
Mr. Woodman, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Mark Widman, 4708 South Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63111.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
And I've appeared in front of this board many times through half a dozen different aldermen, and I like the old format. So that's just an editorial remark. And I have my assistant helping me. This is the first time I ever Zoomed, so bear with me. I'm sure the board members have my package I sent over. Is that true? If anyone,
Yes.
I mean, there's quite a bit of detail. I can summarize a little bit, or I mean, there's exhibits and color coding and who we are, and I don't want to read it line for line. Do you want me to summarize, or do you want to ask me questions?
Yes, if you can summarize.
All right. So again, I'm Mark Widman. I own the property directly across the street from the subject property. Bought the land 25 years ago. It was a blighted piece of property. It's one of the larger residential parcels in St. Louis, 1.5 acres. I cleared the land. Took me 4 years to design and build, and I've had wonderful neighbors that moved in between over those 25 years. And they've kind of adopted me as their spokesperson for issues like this that arise. In Exhibit C, you would see a letter from all 22 of the homeowners in opposition. Maybe let me interject that I met both of the owners-to-be. They're fine gentlemen. Their Google reviews are great, but two things can be true. They can be wonderful individuals, great business practice, but maybe not the right fit for our neighborhood. It's in that context I will continue. Exhibit A in the that I sent you lists all 22 homeowners, their addresses, their just going to kind of read off of what that is. Addresses, years of residency. We've been here 400 plus years. Values of homes over 9 million, and real estate taxes we pay each year of around $65,000. Again, we're a residential area. We think this property would be a detriment to this business model, let's say that, would be a detriment to our area. Something that's not part of this information, if I may, I did attend the meeting on October 4th. I met both the owners as well as Rebecca, the real estate agent. I did point out one thing or ask one thing of the gentleman. I said, moving from Gravois, which in my understanding they were actually moving, but now they're expanding, to Broadway, I said, you're not going to have the street traffic you had on Gravois. So that might affect some of your sales. They kind of pointed out to me in a nice way that I'm an old guy and people don't go from car lot to car lot looking for cars anymore. They explain that's done online. That they go to used car websites. They put in whatever data, maybe the value of car or the amount of the car they can afford, miles, etc. From that information, and they said they're part of a lot of these websites, if I understood them. One would find the various cars in the metropolitan area, and you travel to the car. You don't go car hopping or from parking lot to parking lot, which I told them, thank you for that information. They told me they even had one company or one individual that drove from Alaska because their prices are so good. In that vein, certainly you're all familiar with your zoning information, but a small part of that paragraph that useful to nearby residents for basic and frequent needs, ensuring their uses are compatible with and do not distract from adjacent homes. I doubt that any of us are going to buy a used car from them, not because they're not good folks, but he explained that's not how it's done. You go online to seek it. So this would not be a unique service selling goods in our property. One of the other board members spoke of other used car dealerships in our neighborhood. We have 7 from where we're at to Loughborough, and one's one embarrassment more than the next. Again, I think these gentlemen would do a fine job, and I'm not saying they would operate a car dealership like them, but we have our fair share. The alderwoman who I spoke to chose not to support this endeavor because of our resistance and the 22 of our constituents that said we couldn't support it. Jamie Cox Antwi, our alderwoman's only been our alderwoman for 4 years. She told me, give me a chance, I'm learning the ropes. 4 months, give me a chance, I'm learning the ropes, but realized that the 22 constituents, of which she only knows one, me, that this would be something that would be inappropriate for her to support. Probably the most important part I'd like to point out to you all, which is in my email, is because I know the importance of neighborhood organizations, Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Organization, which we received a letter of support from. I'm a proud member of MPNA for 20 years, very active, and they serve a great purpose. But in the context of this particular letter, I'm pointing out to you that and in Exhibit D, by the way, you can see the boundaries of Mount Pleasant. They cover a very large area. It's made up of many unique neighborhoods, such as ours. the board members of 7 are the only ones that vote on these issues. Most do not divulge their vote. In this case, Sue Lupker, who's one of my neighbors, is a board member. She did divulge that she was against, so they can vote for, they can vote against, and they can vote abstain. The only board member that lives in our neighborhood, as evidenced in Exhibit A and C.
Right, I thought you were going to summarize this.
All right, I'm sorry. So she was a no. So they left 6 board members that are unaccounted for. Let's say all 6 voted for. Some could have abstained, some could have been no, but let's say they all voted for. That is from which the letter was sent to you. I pointed out to you that my neighbors are 22 of the 47 board members. So we're almost half the entire Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Association, of which we oppose. So again, I'm not disparaging MPNA. They do a wonderful job. Our homes, as you can see on page 2 of my letter,
Right,
represent
we got those letters. We read through all of that.
Not the
Mr.
letters,
Whitman.
but
I thought you were going to summarize.
And our testimony
And where,
stays for 3
what,
minutes.
is there any questions you would like? I think you have everything and then some, and that's why I was a little, I didn't want to get into something that was too long, but do you have any questions for me? Summarizing is the Board of Aldermen is not supporting it. 22 of the 47 Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Association members oppose it. Maybe 6 approve of it. And that would be my best summary. And we ask that you oppose the variance for those reasons. And I'll answer any questions if you would like.
I want to point out one thing.
Yes, sir.
The Board of Aldermen did not oppose this. One alderman did support it. So you didn't go in front of the Board of Aldermen, so don't put that on the record.
I'm
okay?
sorry.
That's not what you said. That's what you said.
I
Please.
apologize 100%. I misspoke. I'm speaking only of my, no, it wasn't in front of the Board of Aldermen. That was a misstep. I apologize. The only one who is involved is Jamie Cox Antwi, who didn't support, and she did not stand
Yes, sir.
against it
Yes, sir.
either
We're
with
done.
us.
We're done. We're
Thank
done.
you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Can I answer any
Any other board members? Mary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This question is for Mr. Widman. Mr. Widman, just to clarify, did you say that you have a letter of support or did you say that you have a letter of opposition from the Alderwoman Cox Antwi?
She abstained, Mary.
Okay, so that's why we have no letter in.
Right. And that's also in my letter stating that.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Thank you, Mr. Widman.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to testify in opposition to this appeal? Hearing none, I will read into the record exhibits, certified copy of the zoning ordinance, appeal to the board, basis of denial, meeting notice letter, City Journal public notices, photographs, Sanborn maps, memo from Planning and Urban Design, a letter of support with conditions from Mark A. Swain, President, Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Association, copy of About Us summary with photographs submitted by petitioner, 8 letters of support submitted by petitioner, letter of opposition from Mark Widman, 22 letters of opposition submitted by Mark Widman. And with that, I will consider this appeal having been heard. Drea, can you read appeal number 20604?
Appeal number 20604, 1921 South 9th Street.
Just kill it. Mom just texted me.
Mallory?
I apologize. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Charles, I'll go first.
I do.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Good afternoon again, board members. My name is Evan Winkler, Community Development Planner for the City of St. Louis, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner. I'm here to present evidence of an appeal to operate an event space banquet hall with consumption of liquor, no cooking, at 1921 South 9th Street. I'd like to present as evidence for this case photos and aerials of the said property, plans for the project, and a certified copy of the City of St. Louis zoning ordinance. The basis for denial of Triple J Entertainment LLC, doing business as Triple J Entertainment, concerning the building commissioner's refusal to issue an occupancy permit authorizing the petitioner to operate a banquet hall event space at 1921 South 9th Street in city block number 666.00 is as follows. The present zoning for this address is D, multiple family dwelling district. The intent of the applicable zoning provisions are to fix reasonable standards to which buildings and structures shall conform. The applicable zoning code provisions are section 26.32.020 and or 26.32.025. D, use regulations and conditional uses of the D multiple family dwelling district do not allow the appellant's proposal as stated above. Evidence of lawful nonconformity has not been presented. In summary, the applicant is applying for an occupancy permit to operate a banquet hall that will have no cooking but will have consumption of liquor. This is not a permitted use in the D district. Therefore, a use variance is required prior to approval. There was a previous use variance at this location for a similar type of use, banquet hall, as well as the second and third floor having storage. But that variance did not include the consumption of liquor. And that was per appeal number 20124. So it cannot be transferred to this operation. The City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency states that there's no adopted neighborhood plan for this location. The 2025 Strategic Land Use Plan states this is a medium intensity neighborhood, which is primarily residential with some neighborhoods serving commercial uses. The intent of this designation is to support a mix of uses, including some commercial activities and neighborhoods serving businesses. Therefore, planning staff finds the request of appeal number 20604 is in keeping with the city's comprehensive plan. Are there any questions from the board?
Evan, what's the parking for that?
There's no parking because it's in the D district. So banquet halls, restaurants are not a use that's permitted in that district. So there's no tied parking association.
Okay, thank you.
Can I respond to that?
No, you may not, Mr. James. We will get you sworn in and you can give testimony.
Okay.
Any other board members have any questions? Now let's hear from the appellant and let's get you sworn in, Mr. James.
Mr. James, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do you?
Okay, can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Of course. My name is Charles James. I am one of the owners at the property, which is 1921 South 9th Street, St. Louis, Missouri, 63104.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
Great. So this is what used to be known as Soulard Preservation Hall. We purchased the building about 4 years ago, and we're hoping to turn it back into an event space similar to what it used to be when it was operated as Soulard Preservation Hall. We currently on the second and third floors have office space that we're operating what's my day job out of that. And the first floor does have some entertainment space that we hope to use for graduation parties, wedding receptions, corporate events, etc. Relative to the parking, there's not parking at 1921, but we also have a parking lot directly across the street from us, which also was purchased with the building in 830 Geyer, which has 23 spaces on it that will goes with the building and that we'll use for parking for any events. So that's where our parking is located.
Question.
Yes, please.
Mr.
Yes.
James, your 23 spaces, they're designated specifically, I'm going to call it Preservation Hall. I'm very familiar. You share those with other people, or you can monitor those 23 spaces specifically for your building? Because I think 1860s uses it, Molly's uses it. So do they have their own separate 23 spaces or whatever? You get 23 exactly, they're yours.
They have 5 of those spaces that they own, which is actually, it's a strange lot. Those 5 spaces are on a different parcel.
Really?
But then we own the rest. We own the rest of the lot.
Really? So
And yes,
Molly
we do
own
have
a few
constantly.
of them, and 1860s.
Molly's has
own a few?
5. I'm
Okay.
sorry, excuse me, 1860s. I always get them confused. 1860s has 5 of the spaces that they own that property. We own the rest of those.
Molly's has none?
Molly's has none on that particular parcel, correct. They have a parcel right next to it, which
Okay.
would be just directly east of there, which is theirs.
Okay.
But the 830 Geyer parcel is solely owned by us.
I understand. Thank you.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes, Mary.
can I
Well-
please add something at this point in the testimony because it has to do with the parking? Just to clear this up for everybody. If you're familiar with the parking lot that Mr. James is talking about, forever it appeared to be one big parking lot. As it turns out, it's 2 separate parcels. There's several ownerships there. And actually, if you drive past the parking lot right now, you'll see that I believe it's the section that Mr. James owns has signage up, and people have been towed from there. So I think he's got the parking under control on those spaces. Thank you.
I actually
was a
have
little bit
noticed
of
signage there now. I was trying to
It was
clarify it
a
for
kind of a
myself.
free-for-all. It was kind of a free-for-all and a security risk when we took it over. But we've added lighting. I monitor it with cameras. And yes, we have signage up and have restricted parking on there.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, Jim.
Mr. James, thank you for appearing. So I think one of the items says 17 parking spaces. So just wanted to point that out, that I think I read in the materials that you had listed 17 parking spaces. Do you intend to only allow parking there during your events? And or do you park there when the office space is being used during the day? Just trying to get a sense of how you're going to control those 17 spots. It sounds like you've already got some signs posted, but is the intent to really only just use those 17 spots during your events?
Yes, we would then restrict parking during any events that are there. We have a park mobile that we can restrict parking and close those off at our, just with the press of a key. And yes, it's split up oddly. There are 23 spaces on that whole lot, 5 of which are 1860s, and the remaining 17, which I think is what I put on the application, are owned by us, Triple J Entertainment. And yes, we can restrict that during our events. Yes.
Okay. And we jumped straight to the parking. Did you get a chance to complete your opening statements, Mr. James, before I ask other questions?
Sure. That was what I had to say.
Okay. You say no cooking. So I assume you want events that have food. So is everything going to be catered in?
Correct. And that would be we're not applying for a liquor license. We don't have one. So I'm a little bit unfamiliar with how some of this works. So it said on the description of the application that liquor would be sold, but only, if the caterer has the appropriate license. So yes, there are no cooking facilities there. We have some refrigerators and cold storage, but there is no place to cook. So yes, by default, all events would be catered.
Okay, and the events would be weddings, corporate meetings, just
corporate events. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Private parties.
Private parties. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hours?
Thank you.
What would your hours be?
That's a good question. I hadn't really considered any hours.
Won't be
I
open
would be
past.
fine.
We will need those.
I would say probably 10 o'clock. When it's rented out, I would assume that most events would be in the evening. I'm happy to put an hour restriction on it. But as we stand right now, it would be just whenever the event would get done, I think. But again, I'm open to doing something more finite on that.
You want us to pick it for you?
Pardon me?
You want us to decide for you, or you want to think about midnight, 11?
Well, how about 11 o'clock?
Okay, so events will end by 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Staff will be out by midnight. Give you a little cleanup time. I don't know. I'm helping.
Okay. And
Just a second.
Pardon my
Mary. Give me just a second, Mr. James. Go ahead, Mary.
Mr. James, it's very likely that the board members, if they approve your variance, they will put conditions on you. So it's in your best interest to think about what hours of operation you would like, because if the board doesn't give you the hours that you need, for instance, I don't know, is 11 o'clock late enough for a wedding reception, or do they go on to midnight? I don't know. It's been a long time since I got married. But it's just in your best interest to pick the hours that will work for you, because if you get hours that don't work for you, it's going to cost you $200 and at least 8 weeks to come back here and try to change it.
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
I would be comfortable stating everyone would be out by midnight.
Then how early do you think your events would start? Like, will you have breakfast type events, or will it just be evening type events?
Great question. I would say at the earliest 8 a.m.
So 8 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week would work for you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the suggestion.
And you'll have a commercial dumpster?
Yes, ma'am. We have room on the lot. There's currently one on the lot.
Okay,
That
great. And then you'll probably have like a trash receptacle out front, so your patrons, if they need a place to dump something, they have a trash receptacle close there by the stairs that go up, or?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And
Is
then would
there-
you be putting a new sign out? You'd get a permit for that, so we'd put a condition like that on.
Yes.
Okay,
A new sign with the name of the building there? Yes.
yeah, whatever you're gonna have it as,
Yes.
that would work? Okay,
It's currently I have a DBA set up as Preservation Hall in Soulard because somebody grabbed
Okay.
the Soulard Preservation Hall. But yes, I would put new signage up.
okay, all right. I kind of feel like those would be some of the conditions, but there might be others as well when we actually powwow about it. I'm done. Thank you.
Is there adequate handicap access to the building?
There is a handicap, there is an entrance that can be used as a handicapped entrance, yes, that is in the alley, but that has no stairs.
Any other board members?
We tested it out with my mother. Consolation.
Any other board members have any questions? Thank you, Mr. James.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to testify in favor of this appeal? Okay, is there anyone here to testify in opposition to this appeal? Hearing none, I will read into the record exhibits, certified copy of the zoning ordinance, appeal to the board, basis of denial, meeting notice letter, City Journal public notices, photographs, Sanborn maps, memo from Planning and Urban Design, a letter of support from Alderwoman Jamie Cox Antwi, letter of support from Jerry Kearney, and an email letter of support from Jeff Proctor. And with that, I will consider this appeal having been heard. Drea, can you read appeal number 20607?
Appeal number 20607, 5001 Mardell Avenue.
Mr. Winkler, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Again, my name is Evan Winkler, Community Development Planner for the City of St. Louis, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner. I'm here to present evidence of an appeal to operate a fitness center, yoga, and Pilates classes at 5001 Mardell Avenue. I'd like to present as evidence for this case photos and aerials of the said property, plans for the project, and a certified copy of the City of St. Louis zoning ordinance. The basis for denial of doing business as MMVMT or STL concerning the building commissioner's refusal to issue an occupancy permit, authorizing the petitioner to operate a fitness center gym at 5001 Mardell Avenue in city block number 6030.00 is as follows. The present zoning for this address is C, multiple family dwelling district. The intent of the applicable zoning provisions are to conserve the values of property throughout the city of St. Louis and protect the character and stability of residential, business, and industrial areas. It's also to regulate and restrict the location and use of buildings, structures, and land for trade, industry, residence, and other uses, and to regulate and restrict the intensity of such uses. Applicable zoning code provisions are section 26.16.010, uses prohibited. No structure or land shall be used for use other than those permitted in the district in which such premises are located, unless such use is permitted by other provisions of the zoning code. Also, section 26.24.020 and or 26.24.025, use regulations and conditional use summary. Use regulations and conditional uses of the B two-family dwelling district do not allow the appellant's proposal as stated above. Evidence of lawful nonconformity has not been presented. In summary, the applicant's applying for an occupancy permit to operate a fitness center that will be having yoga and Pilates classes. It's located in the B two-family dwelling district. Therefore, it's not a permitted use, and a use variance would be required prior to approval. The City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency states that there's no adopted neighborhood plan covering this area. The 2025 Strategic Land Use Plan, though, identifies this as a medium intensity neighborhood intended to support a mix of uses, including some commercial activities and neighborhood serving businesses. A neighborhood serving business like this in a pre-existing corner storefront explicitly supports the general goals of the strategic land use plan. Therefore, planning staff finds the request of appeal number 20607 is in keeping with the city's comprehensive plan. Are there any questions from the board?
Okay, let's hear from the appellant. Ms. Michael. Mallory.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. Michaels, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you for letting me chat with you all today. So my studio, I know spelled out, it
Okay,
looks like
Ms.
a lot of,
Michaels, wait, before you continue, we need your name and mailing address for the record.
yes, it's Montana Michaels and 2122 Stansbury Street, St. Louis, Missouri, 63118.
Okay, now go ahead with your testimony.
Yeah, so just to give some clarification on our name, it looks like a bunch of numbers spelled out or letters spelled out. It's pronounced movement, just so that you don't have to feel like you have to spell it out full letter for letter. So my goal here is to open up a boutique fitness studio, mainly focusing on Pilates and yoga classes. The city, I guess the code, the way that everything works, it kind of has to be blankly statement as fitness center. So we won't have any big fitness like gym type equipment, which is kind of what my mind goes to when I hear fitness center. So we're not going to be moving, big heavy pieces of equipment into our building. It's going to be mostly mat classes with small pieces of equipment like ankle weights, Pilates balls, those types of things. My goal here in opening it in this specific neighborhood, I actually used to live on the same street, so I know this neighborhood really well. I walk down to the coffee shop on the corner, Piper's, a lot, and I like that this neighborhood is very walkable. So I noticed that there's never been any type of way to get your fitness in within our neighborhood. You have to go pretty far to get to the nearest Pilates studio, which the closest one is in Forest Park, which is quite a drive. And for residents of the neighborhood who may not have a car, that's a big task to get to, plus do a workout class and also get home after. So my goal is to open a fitness studio for our neighborhood to have, access to fitness classes. I plan to be open. I like to have availability for clients who have like a normal 9 to 5, as well as people who may not work during the day. So my goal would be the first class to start at 6 a.m. It will run sporadically throughout the day, as well as private clients. So it won't all be group classes. Sometimes it'll just be me one-on-one with another client. And then our final class would be to get those people who may work earlier in the day in for their later class. Would be about 7:30 p.m. a 55-minute class, so we'd be out of there by 8:30. Monday through Sunday, but Saturdays and Sundays may not be as heavy on classes, just being the weekend. Times may vary. But Monday through Friday, definitely that 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. time. My goal is to also keep it very community focused. So I know we're on a residential street with street parking. We don't have our own specific parking lot. There is, during that daytime period, I'm very familiar with the traffic on that street. The street opens up a ton with people just leaving for work and going about their day. So I'm not worried our classes won't be more than, 10 to 15 people, if that, probably smaller. So I'm not worried about creating too much traffic or parking issues. And I also am really encouraging people, residents of our specific neighborhood, to join. So I'm heavily talking to our neighborhood association and people that live in our area so that they can just come over and walk or bike. There's also a bus stop that's 1 block from us on Chippewa and Brannan. And then there's also another bus stop that's 2 blocks away from us on Chippewa and Kings Highway. So I want to also promote, public transportation, people coming from the neighborhood. Obviously, to support a business, I don't want to deny anyone else who lives in the city from coming to us. But my goal is to mostly focus on residents of our specific neighborhood. I've met with the Neighborhood Association of Northampton, and I got approval from them. 33 out of the 35 residents in attendance voted yes, as well as having Alderman Matt Devotie at that meeting and State Representative Nick Kimball. He's the representative of our district, which is 82. And I got support from all of them. And all of the residents gave a lot of feedback that they were excited that something like that was coming to their neighborhood. The Garcia family is residents of our neighborhood, and I know they have a lot of real estate on Kings Highway that they've redone, and they own a lot of restaurants and businesses on Kings Highway, and they were excited about it as well. They live just down the road, and they said that they'd love to walk down and everything. So we have a ton of support from the residents in our specific community. And I have a strong background in fitness and business owning as well. I've run a couple small businesses. So thank you for your time.
Any board members have any questions? Jim.
Do you have any, well, thank you, first of all, for appearing before the board. Do you have any letters or emails from any of those public officials that you mentioned?
Yes, I have the letters from Alderman Devotie, Mr. Kimball, and then Representative Kimball, and then the Neighborhood Association.
Okay, I didn't see any of those in our packet. Can those be shared with us?
Yeah, I can put them in.
Or the staff, if staff can answer that?
Montana, I mean, you can email them to me. I'll put my email in the chat. We need to have them before the chairman closes them out because I'll have to read them into the record since the board members haven't had a time to read them over for consideration.
Okay, I can email them to you.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Ms. Michaels,
Moment.
quick question. Do you have access to a commercial dumpster? Because you're not allowed to use the residential dumpsters in the alley.
Yes, we are gonna get our own, like the smaller size one. We won't have much waste other than, paper towels for cleaning the equipment and regular trash.
Okay, and then will you also have, or can you provide a trash receptacle for patrons that come in the front door? Because it seems that everybody has a bottle of water or something, a snack, that they need a place to drop it.
Yes, yep, I have ones planned. We have there's like a courtyard that leads up to our front door. There's one planned for outside, and then one inside the door as well as at the back of the studio.
And signage, a condition we typically put on is that you will need a permit to put any type of signage outside or in the window. Any kind of signage, whether it's inside or outside, does need a permit. Just want to say that out loud.
Yep, I already have the application. I just haven't physically sent it in since I didn't know the outcome of this meeting.
Absolutely. Okay, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing a new business in the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other board members have any questions? Thank you, Ms. Michaels. Is there anyone here to testify in favor of this appeal?
I would like to testify in favor.
Okay, Ms. Derrick, let's get you sworn in. And do you have video?
I do not have video.
Okay. So Mallory, typically we will ask that the person then testify that she is in fact raising her hand.
Okay. All right, Ms. Derrick, can you state that you are raising your right hand, please?
Yes, my right hand is raised.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
My name is Haley Sterick. Mailing address is 3503 Watson Road, St. Louis.
Okay, go ahead with your testimony.
I live in the area and I'm just really testifying that I am in favor of this being approved. That is my testimony.
Okay. Any board members have any questions? Thank you, Ms. Sterick. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal?
I would like to test.
I'm sorry.
Jackie Perry.
I'm sorry, what was your
I'd like
name?
to testify. Jackie Perry.
Miss Perry, okay. Do you have video?
Yes, I do. Hi.
Hi. All right, let's get you sworn in.
Ms. Perry, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi. I would. Okay.
First, we need you to state your name and mailing address for the record.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. You broke up.
I'm sorry. We need you to state your name and mailing address for the record.
Okay. I'm Jackie Perry and I stay at 3610 Iowa Avenue. Been in the city for 25 years, worked for St. Louis Public Schools as a scheduler for 4 different schools, Metro, Clyde C. Miller, Corlane, and Cornahan. And I would also like to say I met Miss Mitchell and she's one. My back was hurting and she was like, you need to do some Pilates. And I was like, Pilates? And she said, yes. So I said, what is that going to do for me? She said, it's going to strengthen your core and take those back pains away. So I couldn't wait and I can't wait until the studio is open so I can get in and see what this Pilates is going to do for this old body of mine. And I think it's going to also bring some character to the community. And we need a lot of wellness going on in our community. So that's all I want to say. Can't wait till it's open. Thanks, you guys.
Any board members have any questions? Thanks, Ms. Perry.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal?
Yes. Let me turn my
Yes.
camera on.
Ms. Shelton.
Hello, how are you? I'm
Hi.
Denisha Shelton.
Okay, Ms. Shelton, first we need to get you sworn in.
Okay.
Can you please raise your right hand?
Mm.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we need your name and mailing address for the record.
Denisha Shelton, 12611 Mateus Drive, Apartment B, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, go ahead with your testimony.
I am excited for this. I think we need wellness, of course, in the community. I encourage physical and mental wellness, of course. It will improve our health, of course, and it will bring the communities together, the neighborhood together. I feel like it will bring a lot of neighbors out to actually communicate with each other and get to know each other more, as well as just mental health in general. So I just wanted to say that I'm for it. That's all. Thank you.
Any board members have any questions? Okay. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal?
Yes.
Asia.
Yes.
Let's get you sworn in.
Okay.
Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Yes, it's Asia Smith. It is 2600 Rutgers, St. Louis, Missouri, 63119.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
Yes, I just want to be in the support of the appeal. That's all I wanted to say. Be in support of it.
Okay. Any board members have any questions? Thank you. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal?
Yes.
Who am I speaking with?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I'm Jaquise Perry. I live at
Hold on.
5. Okay.
Hold on just a second, Mr. Perry.
Yes, sir.
We are going to swear you in first.
Okay.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's get your name and mailing address for the record.
I'm Jaquise Perry. I live at 5003 Mardell Avenue, 63109.
Go ahead with your testimony.
So I live right above the unit. I met Mrs. Michael a while back, and she was just always really influential in pushing things forward, just trying to better the community as a whole. When she told me about the project, right now I'm a biomechanical engineer, and when I get off work, I usually have to drive really far for actually to get a workout in or things of that aspect. So with her actually putting this workout facility right under where I live, it'll be amazing for me. So I'm just here to say that I actually support what she has going on. So thank you.
Okay. Any board members have any questions? Thank you. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal? Okay. Is there anyone here to testify in opposition to this appeal? Hearing none, I will read into the record exhibits, certified copy of the zoning ordinance, appeal to the board, basis of denial, meeting notice letter, city journal public notices, photographs, Sanborn maps, and a memo from Planning and Urban Design. And Evan, did you
I didn't
receive
receive anything. No.
I sent that email like about 5 minutes ago.
I'll refresh here. Nope. Still nothing.
I will send it again. Just to confirm, the email address is winkleri@stlouis-mo.gov.
Yep.
I sent it again. Let me know if you still don't receive it. Still nothing?
Yeah, still nothing.
Um,
I'll log out and try to log in.
yeah, I'm not sure it's showing I've sent it now twice.
Montana, say the email address again.
WINKLERE at stlouis-mo.com.
Okay, first when I
Oh.
heard you say it before, I thought you said dot between Mo and St. Louis.
It's
.com though.
there. She got it. Yeah. It's .gov.
Okay.
Thanks, Mia. There we go. All right. Oh, am I muted? No. All right. This one comes from the Missouri House of Representatives, Nick Kimball, November 4th, 2025. To the members of the Zoning Commission, I'm writing to express my full support for Montana Michaels and her proposal to open Movement, a Pilates and workout studio in our community. Ms. Michaels has demonstrated both professionalism and dedication to promoting health and wellness, and I believe her business will be a positive addition to our local economy and quality of life. Movement will provide residents with an inclusive, encouraging environment to improve physical and mental well-being through movement and exercise. Beyond fitness, the studio will foster community engagement and bring new energy to the area, supporting nearby small businesses and contributed to the vitality of the neighborhoods. I respectfully encourage the Zoning Commission to approve the necessary permits for Movement. I am confident the studio will be an asset to our community and a model for small business success. Sincerely, Nick Kimball. And then Northampton Neighbors, November 3rd, 2025. Dear Board of Adjustment, the Northampton Neighbors Association serves as the neighborhood association for Northampton neighborhood of the city of St. Louis. From time to time, individuals and businesses may approach the association or request a letter of support for a proposed project that requires the approval of city agency in order to proceed. Individuals and businesses seeking a letter of support may be invited to speak to the association executive board and/or at a neighborhood meeting to present their proposal and take questions. The board gathers feedback from the meeting attendees or for internet polls conducted at the association's website. The association, by its board, will then issue a letter of support or non-support after thoughtful consideration of all feedback. Ms. Montana Michaels approached the association requesting letter of support to establish Movement, a boutique Pilates studio at 5001 Mardell Avenue. The association board met with Ms. Michaels to ask questions about the business model and logistics at the location. Ms. Michaels then presented the business proposal to residents at the Northampton Neighborhood Association October general meeting and addressed questions. At that meeting, we asked members whether they support a boutique Pilates studio by yes or no vote. The results of the vote were overwhelmingly in support of the business, 33 yes, 2 no. At the time of the Board of Association supports, at the time, the Board of Association supports the proposal by Movement to open a Pilates studio at 5001 Mardell Avenue in the neighborhood represented by the association. Should Alderman Devotee or the Board of Adjustment require any additional information regarding this matter, please contact the association by electronic mail at admin@northamptonneighbors.com. Very truly yours, Northampton Neighborhood Association. And that's it. Oh, and here's another email, it looks like. But this looks like the same letters. Did you have one from the alderman or no?
The alderman just responded back to the same email thread. He was on the same email thread as me with the neighborhood association, and he just said thank you. So I was assuming that that just was his. I don't know. I didn't know if they shared a letter.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And with those two letters read into the record, I will consider this appeal having been heard. Drea, can you read appeal number 11984?
Appeal number 11984, 1200 to 1202 San Francisco Court.
Mallory.
Mallory.
I'm so sorry. There's so many on this screen. I'm trying to find the Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, again, my name is Evan Winkler, Community Development Planner for the City of St. Louis, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner. I'm here to present evidence of an appeal of the Board of Public Services decision to deny a subdivision plat to subdivide the land at 1200 to 1202 San Jacinto Court. I'd like to present as evidence for this case photos and aerials of the said property and a certified copy of the City of St. Louis zoning ordinance. On August 12th, 2025, Dear Mr. Jane, at its meeting, August 12, 2025, the Board of Public Service voted to deny application number BPS 25-0492 for OM Haven Properties to subdivide 1202 San Jacinto Court to construct a single-family home in City Block 5066. Per the rules and regulations of the Board of Public Service governing the subdivision of land in the City of St. Louis, Missouri, Board Order Number 720 amended, and per the following section of the City of St. Louis zoning ordinance. Section 26.20.080 rear yard. There shall be a rear yard of not less than 25 feet in depth. Evidence of lawful nonconformity has not been presented. Should you feel aggrieved by our decisions or any part thereof, you may appeal within 30 calendar days of the date of this notice to the Board of Adjustment, Room 400, City Hall. For your convenience, there is included with this notice an application for appeal. Denied by the order of the Board of Public Service, August 12, 2025, Michelle Knox, Secretary to the Board. Then an appeal decision made by the Board of Public Service comes now OM Haven Properties and says that on the 12th day of August 2025, a subdivision plat was denied by the Board of Public Service that would have authorized the petitioner to subdivide the property into two parcels. The old home will stay on the one parcel and the new lot will be 50 foot wide for a new home at 1202 San Jacinto Court. In accordance with the plans and specifications filed on the 13th day of May 2025 herewith, the Board of Public Service denied the subdivision permit, and the petitioner hereby appeals the denial of the permit for the following reasons. We are requesting a 4-foot setback on the existing house so the adjacent lot is buildable. The property incurs a unique physical circumstance and hardship because of the 10-foot MSD easement in the back of the new lot. In order for the new home to meet today's homebuyer needs, we request that 4-foot variance required to meet these goals. My $200 appeal fee is attached. I understand this fee is non-refundable this 27th day of August, 2025, signed by the petitioner, who's the owner. So in summary, the applicant applied for a subdivision of a parcel located in the A single-family dwelling district with the intent to build a second single-family dwelling on the newly created lot. By subdividing this parcel, he actually makes the existing single-family dwelling non-conforming with a rear yard setback of less than 25 feet. It's only 21 feet. Therefore, an area variance is required for rear yard setback. The City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency states that this location does not fall within a neighborhood plan. The 2025 Strategic Land Use Plan calls this a lower intensity neighborhood. And these are areas of the city that are primarily residential. A variance would bring new dwelling units to a desirable neighborhood in the city. The inventive site plan takes advantage of a large parcel with a challenging grade issue that would otherwise prevent easy construction of a housing unit. This lower intensity neighborhood is intended to support different types of smaller scale housing, including single unit and some 2-unit buildings. Therefore, planning staff finds the request of appeal number 11984 is in keeping with the city's comprehensive plan. Are there any questions for me from the board?
Do we have a drawing of what this new lot's going to look like? I'm a little confused by where the line is exactly.
We do have a drawing. It was a separate attachment, correct? Or was it awesome?
It was separate.
Oh, okay. My mistake. Let me look a little closer. Thank you.
Yep. It still might be kind of hard, Mona, but the current layout is a pie-shaped
Yeah, I
lot,
see
so to
that.
speak. And so
Weirdish.
they're creating a parcel that would have a frontage along what they're calling Wise Avenue. And they plotted it out with a little bit of a jog in order to maximize a rear yard, but they still aren't able to get the 25 feet because then it would be closer to the proposed building than what is allowed for side yard setbacks of a building in the A district. And per their appeal form, it sounds like there's also MSD
Yeah.
concerns in terms of where the building can actually be set.
Questions, Mona?
No, I just wish it was a better drawing.
Okay. Let's hear from the appellant. Mr. Jane, let's get you sworn in.
Mr. Jane, can you please raise your right hand? Oh, I think you're on mute though.
Yep.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
I'm Himanshu Jain and I live at 2039 Wilson Ridge Lane, Chesterfield, Missouri, 63005.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
So we request a 4 feet setback variance for the existing structure at 1200-1202 San Jacinto Court to allow for a functional subdivision of the large parcel into 2 viable resident lots. The property faces a unique physical circumstance and hardship due to 10 feet MSD easement at the back of the new lot. So for the new home to meet today's home buyer needs, we request a 4 feet variance required to construct a quality complementary residence that enhances the neighborhood without detriment to the public welfare.
Okay, any board members have any questions?
I do. It's Jim.
Yes, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Jane, for appearing before us. Some of the letters that we've seen indicate runoff concerns. Are you aware of flooding or drain up backage up on the more? I'm concerned about the semicircle where the current house is located.
I am not aware of any flooding. I'm not aware of anything at this point of time.
Okay.
How long have you owned it?
I bought this, I think last year in July of last year.
Is there a steep grade at the point where you propose the lot line for the existing building to be? Is there a steep grade at that point, or is there a steep slope going up from the back of the current house to the location of the new house?
There is some grade. Again, I don't know exactly how much that would be. I do have, I think Gary or Rich, they can probably answer more on that.
We can when we're sworn in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthony, have you met with the alderperson or the neighborhood organizations concerning putting this in place?
I have not at this time, but I can if there is a need for that.
It may help with the opposition that you have right now.
And
we'll go from there. Thank you. That's all.
And the entrance to the garage is going to be from off of Wise Avenue, not from San Jacinto Court, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there restricted parking existing on Wise Avenue and which turns northward into San Jacinto Avenue?
So there is a guardrail there, and most of the houses on that street, they have a very similar footprint like this house is going to be.
Okay, so back there at the intersection of Wise and San Jacinto, there's a guardrail there.
Right.
Is there any restricted parking along San Jacinto or along Wise Avenue currently that you're aware of?
No, I'm not aware of any.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Any other board members have any questions? Thank you, Mr. Jane. Is there anyone here to testify in favor of this appeal?
Yes, this is Rich Conyers. I'm the architect on the project.
Yes, Mr. Conyers. Do you have video?
I do. I'm getting ready to pull over. I wasn't expecting the meeting to pass 2 hours, so I had to drive to another project site, but I'm pulling over in just a moment to be able to swear in.
Okay.
Gary, if you need to go first, you're welcome to, if we can give them that extra minute and a half back.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Conyers, let's get you sworn in.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, if you could state your name and mailing address for the record.
Rich Conyers, 2017 Shoto Avenue, Unit 114, St. Louis, Missouri, 63103.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
So, as mentioned before, the MSD easement of 10 feet creates a unique kind of setback on the far side, what would typically be a 5-foot side yard setback. And so that in order to make this a buildable lot, the house is only shown at 22 feet, which is not an excessively wide house, and is consistent with the neighborhood. And so what we're asking is that due to that if yard setback in the MSD, we're only encroaching about 4 feet. It does also have overlapping setbacks, meaning the 25-foot, which would be varied to 21, is adjacent to another 5-yard setback on the side. So when we talk about intents and design, we're looking at as there's still a protected 26 feet between the two houses that are all in setback form. And we're just asking for that kind of logic to prevail given the site constraints.
Okay. Any board members have any questions?
Would Rich answer Jim's question about drainage and how that would affect some of the concerns that the neighbors had?
Yeah, so what I understood based on the question formatting was that there's currently a runoff issue down at the San Jacinto side, so kind of Page South, if you will, and the house that's being built is being built uphill. There is not a severe grade between the two houses. Based on the cul-de-sac, the arrangement, and the grade, it looks like there's water collectively from the area being funnelation as opposed to the development of this one property. Our proposal would be if there's a request for a swale or stormwater management, just to make sure that that's not made any worse. I think that would be applicable.
So there is a problem now?
I don't know of I'm responding to the question as it was stated, as there was a problem. I do not know that there's a problem currently.
Have you been to the site?
Yes, I have been to the site. I have not seen any rain issues, but I was not there during a severe weather event.
Okay. Have you been to the primary house? Have you been in the primary house?
I have not been in the primary house, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Conyers, you said you're the architect for the?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board members have any questions? Thank you, Mr. Conyers. Is there anyone else here to testify in favor of this appeal?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay, I gotcha. Mr. Closer, do you have video?
I'm sorry.
Do you have video?
No, I do not. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
get you sworn in.
Mr. Ploser, will you state that will you let us know that you're raising your right hand, please?
I'm raising my right hand.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Sure. My name is Gary Ploser. I'm president of St. Louis County Surveying, 12015 Manchester Road, St. Louis, Missouri, 63131.
Okay. Proceed with your testimony.
I've been on the site with Mr. Jane numerous times. I've never seen any flooding in San Jacinto. That doesn't mean that it might. There is a drain right in front of his building. Maybe, I don't know if it's, the purpose of it, but I would assume that that's what that was there for. Again, I've not seen any flooding. There will not be any parking on the street on San Jacinto for the new residents, but there is parking on Wise, the part that runs east and west. There's parking. Where it turns and goes north, that street's very narrow and there wouldn't be any parking there. There is a big storm inlet right there too. That's the reason for where our driveway is. And again, we would like to go north of for the new lot, but there is a 10-foot utility sewer easement there. So that kind of hampers us going anywhere north to where we could get a 25-foot rear yard for the existing residents at 1200 San Jacinto. So that's the reason for where we have placed the house.
Okay, any board members have any questions? Yes, Jim.
Would you not build a narrower house?
Well, that's pretty narrow. I mean, it's only 20, is it, Rich, is it 25 feet, you said? 14
It's only
and 8?
22 feet. I
22.
mean, based on today's
22
housing
feet,
standards.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Mr. Conyers. We can only have one person testifying at a
Okay.
time.
Sorry about that.
It's
Yeah,
22
the house
feet,
that we're
Jim.
putting in is 22 feet. And that's
saying that-
actually including the garage, so that's,
Okay. Thank you.
Any other board
You're
members? have
welcome.
questions?
And I'm curious, what is your relationship to the project, sir?
oh, I did the plan, this site plan that you're looking at. I did the topographic survey of the lot. I located the houses, the house that's there. And I've been working with Rich and Mr. Jane on this layout. So this plan here is mine, the site development plan that you're looking at.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other board members have any questions? Okay, thank you. Is there
You're
anyone
welcome.
else here to testify in favor of this appeal? Okay, is there anyone here to testify in opposition to this appeal? Yes, Ms. Parvis. Let's get you sworn in.
Can you please raise your right hand?
Sorry.
Thank you. That's all right. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
Yeah, Colleen Parvis, and my mailing address is 6603 Wise Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63139.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
I have lived here roughly 31 years. I am the closest house other than Froggy Van Rippers. Hers is going to be right next door to it. I can tell you that there have been sewer problems for years. The sewer would back up, it would go somewhere down into San Jacinto. I have no idea whose house it was, but one of the houses down there had substantial damage 2 or 3 times before the sewer district came in. And I think all I could notice that they did was that they sucked crap out of the drain. I don't know if that solved the problem, and I couldn't tell you who it was that had the problem. I just know that they had the alderman at the time up here. I don't remember his name. He rode a bike, if that helps any. The second thing that I know of is that we have major water issues, like not a big enough supply of water. And everybody on this block would tell you that if we throw in another house with a whole bunch of different outlets, I have no idea what's going to happen. It is to the point where some of our neighbors are saying they may have to move out of the city because they can't keep their grass halfway decently green. I know my washer sometimes doesn't run because it doesn't get enough water. Those are 2 major concerns. My third concern is he was talking about parking. There is no parking up here. I do not have a garage. I have been told by the city I cannot park in what used to be a driveway. They told me because it's not cemented, I can't park there. So I have only off-street parking. We have two vehicles. There's just two of us. Right now, we've temporarily got a third because mine died. But there is just no parking here. On weekends, sometimes you can't even find a place. We've had to park around the corner. So if this big building with a whole bunch of bedrooms, and that would mean probably at least two drivers, maybe three, is going to need to use street parking, it is at a minimum. I mean, there is very little. I do not understand how they could cut into that area and not affect our sewers. I'm also a little concerned because from what I understand, and I don't know either of the people involved in the building of this, but if they're the ones that built the houses around the corner on Craft, they don't not only not fit into this neighborhood with that design, but I've heard they've got major issues that somebody spent like $400,000 or $500,000, bought the house, and granted this is hearsay, and that they had a whole ton of problems. And I just don't want a house sitting there on the corner. I mean, I just don't even understand that. Now, another problem I've got is if this gentleman owns all these houses that are in San Jacinto, which I understand, Mr. Jane, that you own a bunch of those, he doesn't even take care of those because there are trees down and the place is a mess. I just really want you to consider, why are we trying to jam more houses in there and create a fire damage when we don't have enough water, the right water things to come in, the sewer, plus the fact that I only heard about this because of a neighbor. There was nothing posted, or isn't there some kind of a manner of letting the neighborhood know what you're doing so that we can, at least speak to somebody? But this was nothing. And my husband does go to some of the meetings with our neighborhood association, but there was nothing ever said. And I would just like to say, I think that this is a questionable project. I'm concerned about it on many, many levels.
Any board members have any questions?
I do want to say that everything is posted in advance, out front, at the street level, prior to any of this being heard at the board.
At what street?
I don't know. I don't post it. I just know by law it's posted, ma'am. I would assume it's posted. Let me finish. I would assume that it's posted out in front at 1200 San Jacinto. It is doesn't mean that the wind hasn't torn it down or something of that factor. I know from time to time these things do happen. But I hear you. Okay? And that you're go to neighborhood association meetings as time allows. We will take all of that into consideration in deliberations. Okay? And I also hear you when you say you have water pressure issues. Okay? And we will take all of your concerns into deliberations. Okay?
Okay. I do think that if it was posted on San Jacinto, none of us on WISE, and we're going to be impacted by this, none of us on WISE could see that. Because that's on a little keyhole street down underneath that most of us would have no reason to be on.
I understand. Now, your alderperson is made aware when these things are posted, just as an FYI. Okay?
Okay.
But we do hear your concerns, and we will take that into consideration during our deliberations. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you for coming and talking to us.
Mm-hmm.
Any other board members have any questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Parvitz. Is there anyone else here to testify in opposition to this appeal?
Myself.
Yes, Ms. Van Ripper. Let's get you sworn in.
Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Can you state your name and mailing address for the record?
My legal name is Ramona Van Riper, mailing address 1148 San Jacinto Avenue, 63139.
Okay, proceed with your testimony.
I have lived in this neighborhood since 2004. The first house that I ever owned was 3 doors away from the house in question right now. And I'm presently the neighbor who abuts the property that will be subdivided, or that is proposed to be subdivided. I am good friends with several people on both the Wise Avenue Street and the San Jacinto Court, the cul-de-sac side, the original address 1200 is at. As a long-term resident of the neighborhood and speaking in person with several of these folks, which I also would not have known about this hearing if the folks on the cul-de-sac hadn't told me, that they are frequently flooding. So I am actually the highest house. I will not be at risk of flooding, so I'm not, that particular issue will not affect me. But I have had friends have to move out of those slab homes on the lower hill due to flooding. They are almost all rentals now, and I believe Mr. Jane owns the vast majority of the block. And I'm sorry to say that the maintenance complaints that my neighbors have had are profound, and they involve mold and flooding, and so I'm really concerned for their well-being, obviously. And I think in particular, if their landlord can't maintain their properties, but realize that he can just cut the backyard off of a newly purchased home, build a $400,000 house on it, and sell it and not change the cost of rent, he's exploiting our neighborhood. He's not building this to live in it. He's building this to sell it. He's not building it to create more housing in Dogtown. We have housing in Dogtown. The prices are going up because developers are turning them into Airbnbs and building luxury homes and tearing down the small houses. So I'm mostly concerned with the fact that I think this neighborhood was well designed. I think the size of the lots is appropriate. I'm currently working with members of the city on stormwater. There's the Living Earth Collaborative at Washington University and several nonprofits in town. We have created a working group to deal with stormwater concerns and flooding concerns. And part of our concerns are the distribution of permeable surfaces as compared to roofs and hardscaping. So this is the proposal, not to replace a house with a different house, but to add a new roof and new hardscaping to an area that is currently serving a really important role in absorbing the runoff that is already a problem for the neighborhood. So I do think it would be extremely harmful to the neighborhood. And then of course, I also live on the street that does not have parking. And I can corroborate Ms. Parvey's statement that we have a parking crisis on our street. And I do know our society is growing in the number of cars per household. So this is not going to go away. If anything, it's going to get worse. So a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house, not likely to be a single person with a single car. And so I do anticipate significant parking challenges to our neighborhood. Those are my concerns.
Yes, Mona.
Do you have a water inflow issue as well?
Yes, we frequently have low water pressure in our neighborhood.
So you have issue both directions.
We do. When rain falls, we have flooding, and when rain is not falling, we struggle to take a shower. Yeah.
Okay, and then you've worked with St. Louis City Water as well, trying to get more water pressure in the area, I would assume?
Well, we certainly have. Brett Narayan, our alderperson, has also moderated a lot of these concerns that we've had. And my understanding right now is, and we all know that the city's infrastructure is, that's the whole reason that our rates went up, is so we can finally start catching up on maintenance of a really, really old system. So, yeah.
And you have a fire hydrant within the cul-de-sac?
Thank you for reminding me about the cul-de-sac. I don't actually know where the fire hydrants are on the cul-de-sac, but I can, and I do realize, because I did speak to Evan yesterday, that there was no violation in the posting of the notice, the paper notice, but because technically this hearing isn't about the new house, which is the reason for the subdivision, but it's about the shrinking of the backyard of the 1200 San Jacinto, that the only place the notice had to be posted was in the front yard of 1200 San Jacinto, which is literally the last house on a cul-de-sac.
Right.
So only 2 people saw that notice. And if they hadn't looked into it, tried to figure out why it was there and told their friends, then this could have come in such a stealthy way. I mean, Mr. Jane has not been present at any of our neighborhood association meetings, obviously. Several of his tenants have. I would encourage you to look. I do realize that as his immediate neighbor, testifying today is going to probably put me at risk of a bad relationship with somebody who owns a lot of property, including property that abuts my own. But I can't in good faith not testify. If you go on Google and you look at Ohm Haven properties, it's pretty hard to only have 1-star reviews. It's pretty hard to, even as a property manager, nobody loves their landlord, right? But it's really hard to have only 1-star reviews. And I can personally attest to knowing the tenants living in Ohm Haven properties, and that those reviews reflect the things that I hear from my neighbors.
Thank you.
I have one question. So to clarify, you're in the property immediately north of the new property and the existing property, right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. So you face San Jacinto Avenue.
Correct.
Okay.
Which
Is
means
there
the
restricted?
I'm sorry.
What's that? Is there
Which
restricted?
means parallel to mine, yes.
Okay, so your front door faces San Jacinto Avenue. Okay, is there restricted parking right there in front of your house?
There's no parking. The street is, a lot of people think it's an alley. It is a street, but it is only narrow enough for a one-way single vehicle to fit down with no parking. So there's
no parking on both sides on either side.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other board members have questions? So I do have a question, Ms. Van Riper. How did you find out about this hearing?
I found about this hearing because I've been calling every 2 months to ask for a status update. I was waiting for signs to be posted because I was aware from the last time I phoned the city that that the original application to subdivide had been denied and that it would eventually go to appeal. And so I was trusting that I would see signs, but for some reason, dumb luck, yesterday, I got off work early. It was business hours. I thought, what's the harm in calling and checking on the status again? And I found out the hearing was today.
Gotcha. And you're on San Jacinto Avenue, not Court. Got it.
Oh, is it? I don't think I even knew it was Avenue. I thought that they were all called Court. It's San Jacinto. Yeah. I'm on the little dog leg that is north of the cul-de-sac, which 1200 exists.
Courts are typically cul-de-sacs.
Yeah, I guess it is. I just thought because this dead ends, but Avenue. I need to correct all of my mailing things now.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else here to testify in opposition to this appeal? Mr. Jane, you had a
Yeah. So I just want to make a couple of points here. First, I have owned this property since 2014 and 15 onwards, and I have done the very best I can to maintain and manage these properties. If somebody says there's a mold issue and all that, that's not correct. I think this is misinformation which was communicated here. So that's one. Second, I've been in touch with Ms. Ramona. She has been asking me because she wants to build a deck on her side. And if we put in a property, yes, that will be a problem for her. And probably that's a reason why, I mean, again, I don't know in terms, and I've been communicating with her and saying that I'm not decided anything. I'm waiting on a decision to be made on this. And I mean, I'm kind of surprised that it was said that I'm not maintaining the property, and there are a lot of issues, which is really not correct. And third, I want to say I'm not aware that I was supposed to communicate this to the group, or I'm assuming that the notice was part of the city process and not something that I was expected to do. I was not aware of that. If I was supposed to do that, if I was supposed to, then I would have taken care of that. I just wanted to make sure that I just make my point clear in terms of that it's not that I was trying to do this stealthily or I was trying to do this, in any way, trying to downgrade the area or downgrade the property in any way. So just want to make sure that that's recorded,
Thank you, Mr. Jane. Ms. Parviz, would you like to respond to that? I'll give you 1 minute if you would care to.
No, all I can tell you is that in the time I've lived here, there are trees that are heck west and crooked. If you come out here now, there's a tree. I don't know when it came down. I was out of town a lot this summer, but it's leaning against one of the other trees. And as I said, I think when I looked it up before, he owned the whole San Jacinto circle down there. And the maintenance on the trees alone gives me indication that there's a problem. But no, that was all I had to say.
Okay. Ms. Van Riper, is there
I have
anything you'd like to add? I will give you a minute to do so.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually, the original reason I found out that this process was even happening was because I had reached out to Mr. Jane about building a retaining wall between our properties. And he told me, oh, that won't be necessary because I'm going to bring in a bunch of soil when I build this new house. And I did nothing about it prior to that moment. And that was the only reason that I also was checking with the city from that moment forward to understand the status, because yeah, it's gonna significantly impact mine. And I have been here since 2004. I have been in this house for exactly the same amount of time Mr. Jane has owned the neighboring property. We both bought in October, but I've been in the neighborhood and on this block specifically, on and off since 2004.
Okay. Thank you. With that, I will read into the record exhibits, certified copy of the zoning ordinance, appeal to the board, basis of appeal based on the Board of Public Service denial, meeting notice letter, city journal public notices, photographs, Sanborn maps, memo from planning and urban design, copy of the BPS file, email letter of opposition from Heather Dorman, email letter of opposition from Teresa Weisbrod, and an email letter of concern from Catherine Gerhardt. And with that, I will consider this
Chairman,
appeal.
I have
Yes,
one I need
I'm
to
sorry.
read.
Yes, you have one other to read in. I'm sorry, Heather.
All good. We got a late letter of concern from Peter Shoemaker. It says, I just wanted to register my concerns about the proposed construction of 1200 San Jacinto Court. I'm concerned about parking issues on the 6600 block of Wise Avenue. Additionally, I am very concerned about flooding and water runoff issues. I also am not sure if the developer is the same, but the construction of nearby homes on Craft in the last 6 years have left some serious quality concerns. Those concerns do also call into question whether the building department is actually doing thorough inspections on new construction. Thank you for hearing my concerns. Sincerely, Peter Shoemaker. All right.
Thank you. And with that being read into the record, I will consider this appeal having been heard. With that, this concludes the testimonial portion of our hearing. We will now go into deliberations. And thank you, Mallory, for your service. You are free to log off.
Thank you.
Board members, shall we continue or 5-minute recess?
Let's continue.
Agree.
Let's go.
Okay. Start with appeal number 20600, 8212 Alabama Avenue.
I don't have any problems with this.
I just limited the cars to 3. That's all I would have. Make sure that no more than 3 cars
All the conditions.
in all the conditions. Yeah, I mean standard conditions, but the limited number of cars is 3. And I don't. Did he give hours?
9 to 3.
There you go.
I'll make a motion to approve hours operation 9 to 3 per testimony,
Is that
Monday through
7 days? 9 to
No,
No,
six
no, ma'am.
days.
Okay.
No, he testified Monday through Friday. I mean,
Monday
we can
through
give him
Friday,
Saturday. We can give him Saturday. I don't mind in case he needs it. Monday
Monday.
through Saturday,
Monday through Saturday.
9 to 3
p.m.
per testimony. We want to put that on there specifically. His testimony also was 3 cars, even though the alderperson said 8, but let's go with 3 because his parking situation is different than what
So 3 cars for
sale.
sale, but that wouldn't count any. Well, because he said that he was only going to do body work and stuff on the cars for sale, right? Okay.
Well, what about employee parking?
He's got room.
Is that room?
We're talking about how many he's going to have for sale. That'll give the rest of the space for employees and everybody else.
Okay, we're all comfortable.
Okay.
He's just going to limit to that one lot.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold on a second.
I just want to make sure I understand the condition,
wait.
please.
One. Stop.
One at a time, guys.
Sorry.
All right. So just a second. I want to make sure we're talking about the
Alabama.
right project here. So I don't think there was testimony about employees. And was there testimony about working on the vehicles?
Not that. Nope,
No.
this is just sales.
No, that's not this project. So
Correct.
I just
the
want to
3 cars.
clarify
The
that
only thing,
because that
the only
was-
thing
that was-
testified to was the 3 cars and the hours.
yes.
So
But
right ahead.
we should put a note on the parking that it has to be behind the building.
Yes.
Because all that's on his property is the drive lane, not
That
the
is
angled
correct.
parking to the left.
That is
It's
correct.
not his property. So that needs to be on that, is all parking is to be at the rear of the building. cars for sale and employees?
Correct.
I'm fine with that.
No.
That's your motion, Mona?
It is, but with all the regular conditions that we typically have. The other thing I wanted to, and I'm scrolling as fast as I can here. I'm looking at Ann Schweitzer's conditions. No parking of vehicles on the street or adjacent sidewalks. Let's make sure that's on there.
That's in the standard conditions.
Just wanted to make sure. No operations outside of hours. Approved by the Board of Adjustments. Okay.
You won't need that because you have
didn't think
hours
so.
on there, right?
I think everything else we have
Okay.
on us.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just reading through it real quick. Yes, ma'am.
I want to state what I have just to make sure, because this was confusing. So we have all of the standard conditions, and for the hours, we have 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Then the two additional conditions I have written down are that they are limited to 3 cars for sale on the site. And then the other condition is that all parking must be in the rear on this lot. Did I get it correct?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The one thing I would like for you to add on that, Mary, is when you say the 3 cars, could we say per testimony? Because that's what they said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was his testimony. He said, only had 3 cars.
Okay.
Because the older person had said 8.
Okay.
But I think the other person didn't realize the problem.
The
with
lot was,
lot.
yeah. Exactly. They can come back once they get their act together about the other lot, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mel.
Motion made by Mona, seconded by Mel. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Findings?
Won't be a detriment as conditioned.
Okay. Appeal number 20601, 4701 South Broadway.
I don't have a problem with this one because if you look at that, if you look at the view from Google Earth and everything, it's up for something like this. And I know he gave 22 letters, but those were all farm letters that somebody typed up and just gave to people, said, here, sign these.
They're pretty far across the street and way across. They have big lots too, Mel. All
Yeah,
those
well-
people over on the bluff.
Well, I'm saying is the letters that he submitted, the applicant submitted, were all written by people in the neighborhood. He had 8 of those, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And the other 22 were all farm letters where somebody just had to sign them and put their names on. I mean,
Mark.
I don't know.
Just because it's a form letter, that doesn't really negate its
no.
validity. I mean, if you are going to take into consideration, which you have many times, petitions with hundreds of signatures that just have a little blurb above it,
I'm just saying,
that's
my
not
opinion,
different than a form letter.
Mary, my opinion is if I give out farm letters and I look at the 2, I got somebody that hand wrote a letter saying we support this, and I give more credit to that than he's got 8 letters of support submitted by the petitioner, a copy of the summary, and he's got a letter of support from conditions from the Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Organization. So he did go to the neighborhood organization. He's got letters of support from the people in the neighborhood, and the other person got letters of opposition. So if you take 8 letters of support and 22 letters of opposition, I don't know. I don't have a problem with this. The lot's made for something like this.
Well, while we're talking about opinions, my opinion is that you shouldn't be voting in favor of something if PDA writes a memo and says that it's not in keeping with the land use plan. So our opinions will just have to differ, Mel.
I understand that, but when you look at that, it's made for something. It's fenced in. It's got ballards there, and it's he's made better
Vacant for
progress with it
3.
than Spire had it. It was all full of weeds.
Well, it's been vacant for 3 years. I don't know what else we can put there. Is what I'm looking at is what is the highest and best use of this thing?
You can put
Anything is,
anything that is a use by right or a conditional use in the F district.
I know, but I'm looking. I know what's available in F, but I'm thinking what's going to go in there.
Well, just in case,
Particular location.
26.40.
What's going to actually go in there for highest and best use is where I'm thinking. I drove out there and I looked at the location, and the people across the street that are against this are really pretty kind of far away from it. That it's not the people that are right next door to it or just down the way from it that wrote a letter of support.
Yeah, I guarantee he's not gonna be able to get by with much because they're already watching everything he does.
Well, there's that too. They're not going to get away with anything. No, not that
Well,
they
Lamona,
would.
Except that he'll just tie up another spot on the agenda when we have to haul him back in for a revocation hearing, but.
And I think,
well, Lamona, I think,
oh, go ahead, Jim.
well, I'd be curious to hear what you said. We're about to say. Well, I'll go ahead and speak. I guess I look at it, Mel, that there are 22 oppositions to it, not even though it is a form letter. I think of the 8 support letters, only 2 were the neighbors are right around that area. I think they were over across on that same side of the street. Even though this didn't come up in the testimony, the letter that I assume was written by one of the gentlemen actually said that we knew we'd have to go through zoning issues before we bought the property. So I guess they seem to put the cart before the horse on all this. And then I'm also a little concerned that they've never done repairs themselves and they've never done tire sales. They're expanding what they currently do over in Gravois.
But
So
he also testified he's bringing in people that do that as part of the team. So he's not doing it himself.
Good point.
It'd be like me saying, "Hey, I'm going to buy an airport, but I'm not going to run. I'm going to bring in people that don't know how to run the airport."
Okay, but he also didn't have those people on the phone call to support what he's trying to do.
I
don't care.
Go ahead, Evan.
Just a point of education, which is why Mary and I keep bringing this up, is for a long time, the city has operated in the need for use variances because things aren't able to get done. However, we are slowly moving the ship in a different direction. And a huge part of that was the adoption of a strategic land use plan, which is literally the collective goals and objectives of the city with significant public engagement, hours and hours of public engagement. And so if you've looked at the strategic land use plan map, each parcel is given a designation specifically. It wasn't like they just blanket, here's an area, here's an area. They went through each parcel to identify what the strategic land use plan should say about what should happen at those locations. And so as we move into our new zoning code, which will help enforce what the strategic land use plan says those parcels should be, use variances in particular actively work against what the strategic land use plan is saying. So please keep that in mind as you continue to consider cases and use variances. So that's why PDA is writing these memos, is so that we don't actively work against what collectively we've all agreed upon as our shared future our shared vision for the future. So that's all I wanted to say.
There's no motion out there, so I don't care what this might do it.
I'll make a motion to deny.
Second.
I don't know, man. I just don't want to see this building continue to be vacant for another God knows how many years. It's been vacant for 3 years. Not gonna vote for it.
Sometimes a
So-
vacant building is better than an occupied one.
No, it's not.
Sometimes it is. I would guarantee you that if Dave Lewis's house was vacant, my neighborhood would be in a lot better shape. So speaking from personal experience.
That's a home, not a building.
Excuse me, I think they're all buildings, home or commercial.
Okay, come on. Well, you got a motion in a second.
There's a motion on the floor to uphold the building commissioner's denial made by Mr. Klitzing and seconded by Mr. Dallas.
Yes. Motion made by Joe, seconded by Jim. I am going to call a roll on this one. Joe,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Mona,
No.
Mel,
No.
and I am a no.
So the
Motion
motion fails because it does not have 4 concurring votes.
So
How about if,
my
so that motion failed? Can you put a motion that says, I'll send them back and say, look, why don't you go back and talk to the alderperson and everybody and see if you can work out
The
something?
They already talked to the alderperson and she abstained.
yeah, she
She's
abstained.
afraid of
Well,
the people
Well, you
across
know
the
what?
street.
That I'm afraid you're an alderperson. You got elected. You can't be afraid that people go back and talk to the people, find out what they want.
Well, I think Mel, in my experience, when older people abstain, it's because
Chicken. They're chicken.
Yeah, well,
There.
there's that, and
I got elected to do something.
Sometimes
they-
the older
they
people
understand.
abstain because they want to let the Board of Adjustment do their job. You know,
Sure.
I
I mean,
feel like they're dodging everything. Sometimes they just, want it to play out and they want to stay out of it.
But that's
yeah,
not part of
I
being an
would
alderperson.
ultimately say that. Essentially what an alderperson's abstention is just that. They are not for it and they are not against it. And so that speaks, for me, that speaks to where the alderperson stands. Now, what I was going to say is we have support from the neighborhood organization. And that's really, for me, what I have more weight on. I kind of disagree with you, Mel, with I understand your thinking with handwritten letters versus the other, but I don't weight that. I personally, the weight is on the neighborhood associations.
And I
My
agree with
concern-
you. I will acquiesce to that. That is true. But
My
there is
concern-
something for Mark Swain from the president of the Mountain Neighborhood Organization. And they put quite a few conditions on it. They said, we'll do this, but we want, they gave
Right.
a whole list of all signs and, surrounding, keep clean, no bars on the windows.
Yeah.
See, all sales would be $7 or more with less price. So they want at least cars that, I don't know if I don't know how you can enforce it, but
Thanks.
So my concern here is my concern, and what Evan brought up is a concern for me, understanding the new use plan. I guess I definitely get that. I'm trying to weigh the newness of that with these projects that are coming before us, which definitely would have started out months ago and are now just coming before us. That's really my concern, is how new the plan is versus projects coming before us and how and that timeline.
So
That's a
the
good
plan
point.
is not that new. It was adopted in January of this year. So it's almost a year old.
Right.
We're well into the rewrite of the zoning code, which will include a new zoning map, and every single parcel in the city will be rezoned. And then in the meantime, you know,
So
South
you
Broadway
can
has a lot of issues. There's a lot of revocation hearings going on along South Broadway, particularly of the auto-related businesses. Not all of them are coming to this board. Some of them go to a different board because of how old they are. But the point is that they're asking for something that is not allowed under the zoning code. You have a land use map and a land use plan that said this is not a use that we want here in the future. At some point, you have to start, denying this stuff, or I don't know why we did an update to the land use plan, and I don't know why we're currently doing an update to the zoning code if you're going to continue to give out use variances like it's candy at Halloween. I don't know how to put it really simpler, but if you need more education, when the consulting team is in town, we'll be happy to have them, make time to give the board some more education on, in most municipalities, all of the municipalities that are directly adjacent to the city of St. Louis, it is incredibly hard to get a use variance. And it should be hard to get a use variance. Our zoning code is so old that we can't get anything done if we didn't give them out. But it is time with the new land use plan to start considering what are appropriate uses and what aren't. And I think you should, rely heavily on what the land use plan says. There was an incredible amount of public input that went into that document. We're mirroring that public input process with the new zoning code. There will be lots of opportunities for you to have input on that besides just one-on-one meetings with the consulting team. So I'd urge you to, give that some thought.
So the city has the
Mary,
right to,
If this
I'm sorry,
property was vacant,
it
it
is.
was just dirt, I probably have 4 developers that would want to put up a 2 or 3 story building, residential. But the problem with this property is that it used to be a gas station. It used to have a lot of things. I don't know if it's been cleared. I don't know if the tanks are out of it. I don't know what the condition of the ground is. And that's what everybody's going to worry about.
So that's Joe, you hit the nail on the head. That's one of the things that I am considering. I agree with you, Mary. I look at the property and the building and what it's been previously, and that's really what I am considering. In addition to that, yeah, I agree. The land use plan has been in effect since January. They came in looks like in August. I get it, and I think that there's absolutely no question that we will have to cut this off. My concern is, is that 3 months? Is that 6 months? Is that a year? That we say, okay, that's one thing. The second is its previous use and what would need to be done for a new use.
I think the previous use of Spire was using it for something.
Well, prior to Spire,
it was a gas station.
It was a gas station.
I'm almost positive it was a gas station, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm almost sure it was. I can't say for sure. I think at one time it was a gas station.
Yeah,
Designer of
So-
the building tells me it was a Shell station.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I can't say for sure, so. But it sure looks like a Shell station.
I know years back that there was a whole thing about taking all the tanks out of the ground and replacing them all with double line tanks and things like that. I don't know if this site had that done. Don't know the condition of the ground.
If that's the case,
Those
he may
are
not be
things
able,
that developers are gonna be interested in,
he may not be able to
especially
put,
if you're gonna do residential.
he may not be able to put that there if it's got tanks on the ground.
Well, you
So
you
it's,
can. I've got a project now where
what's your reason to vote no, Joe?
There's better use for the ground.
Eventually, these things get cleaned up.
I'm not saying that it isn't cleaned up now, Mary.
It
I
could be.
just don't have the information because I know they went through all that several years ago because we used to do gas stations.
So I'm torn with this one.
Well, we gotta make a vote.
I'd recommend a motion that
We're
this,
either approving it or we're not. That's what our choices are.
I'd make a motion that we defer this and have the appellant come back with additional information.
Of what kind?
I'd like to see more information on the site. Is the appellant the owner of the site or?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
That
He testified that he was.
I have one.
So that really then creates a problem for me. What I'd like to know is, give me a second here. Forget about that. We'll go to.
Are you withdrawing your motion?
Well, can I have a point of order? I thought we did vote.
We voted.
We did, and the motion failed, and we don't have a motion as of
We
yet.
don't have a motion on the board right now.
No, but somebody can make, just to clarify, somebody can make another motion under a different.
Right. So.
But that's what he's trying to do. If everybody leaves,
I understand, but I'm trying to understand the processes of what the Robert's Rules of Order.
Explain that, please.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Yeah.
Okay, so Jim, when the board makes a motion, they need 4 concurring votes to overturn the decision of the building commissioner. And on this current motion, the vote was 3-2. So that means the motion failed. But that doesn't mean that a failed motion doesn't mean that it's denied. It means there's been no decision made. So now all of this talk is leading up to, I believe Mr. Robinson is going to make a new motion, or anyone could make the new motion.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Mary. Appreciate it.
I'd like to see a layout because he said I get a couple hundred cars on there. I was like, no, you can't. No, you can't. I'd like to see, if nothing else.
I wrote down 50 cars.
But at one time he said, I get a couple. What concerned me is he said at one point, I can get a couple hundred cars there. No, you can't. Okay, so I want to see, if anything, give me a parking lot plan.
So you'd
That's
like,
in the conditions.
are you
That's in
making
the-
a motion?
it's in the
No, I'm
standard
just saying,
conditions.
I'm not.
Still discussing.
Anthony was saying he'd like him to come back. If he comes back, I'd also like to see when he comes back, if we're going to defer this or if we're going to table it, bring back a parking lot a parking lot layout. How many cars you're going to have? Where are they going to be at? How are you going to do this? Because they, the neighborhood put some conditions that we can't enforce. Along with no car be less than $7,000, but there's no way for us to monitor that. So that's I want to give Dallas, one of the things we try and do is make sure that we don't put conditions that we can't monitor on this. In other words, you can only serve cheese sandwiches on Tuesdays between 1 and 2. Well, you can't monitor something like that. Okay.
Right.
So we try not to put conditions that are impossible to monitor. So something like with the neighborhood one where no car less than $7,000, it's almost impossible to monitor. So that's why I'm saying is we try and stay with stuff that if we have to, we could monitor it. Is that right, Mary?
Yes. Yes.
See,
Come
I do
on,
listen.
Anthony, make
I
your
do listen
motion.
to you.
I wasn't really making a motion. I was making a suggestion for a motion that we table it to get more information about the lot, along with I think what Mel just brought up is a great idea. What you brought up was a great idea, Joe, about has the lot been abated or not. I think those items are helpful to me. Also, I'd like to know because I just looked up and just looked up on the real estate, well, both geo and real estate, and I can't really determine if they own the property or not. But I think my decision on this would depend on whether they were owners of the property or whether they were leasing it. I would say if they are leasing the property, I would lean towards
My understanding was they owned it based on what Rebecca Fox said.
yeah,
She
and I think
represented them.
she did state that, and so that's why I voted against the original motion. I think
Tony, Anthony.
I think we need to give. I honestly think that if you are an owner of a property and you are purchasing a property in and you are looking for a different use, I think it needs to be clear prior to purchasing that that there may be a very distinct opportunity that you will not get approval
But the problem
for
being is,
something
I think
like
some of
this.
these,
I think
When-
that's important.
I just looked up the ownership. Is it the ownership of 4701 that's in question?
yes,
Yes.
Listed as the owner is Exclusive Auto Sales LLC.
which is them.
Which is them, and he
Okay.
said in one of his letters before he bought the property,
So
so he owns the property.
But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
some of it,
I was just
Mary, am I
just
correct?
didn't think you were clear on that, so
yeah.
what I see.
Okay.
May
Mary.
I ask that if we have some follow-up also to include the contractor he intends to use for the actual work?
So I quite honestly, I think with him as the owner of the property and I'm sorry, what was it, what was the date on that?
On what?
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to determine at what point he purchased that property. I all of this for me plays an important role.
Well, here, I'll make a motion to table the motion. I'll make the motion to table it until he comes back with.
I'm looking, Anthony.
Looks like he's owned it at least since 2017.
No.
And that's as much as I can tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It looks like 27. Okay.
He may have owned it before then, but the last time there was any kind of change to this record was on December 13th of 2017. And at that time, Exclusive Auto Sales was the owner of the property.
Right.
But
So
he could have owned it before then.
yeah, and so that's what was confusing to me because when asked about when the realtor testified, when Mona asked the realtor how long they had been working together, it had been a year, and so it's like, well, if it's been a year, that
He
was just
bought it.
confusing.
He bought it in 8/7 of 2025. That was the close date, and he paid $300,000 for it. I just
Yeah,
looked
so-
it up on my real estate records.
Thank you. Yeah,
And his
that's
mortgage
what I
amount
could,
is 240 enterprise banking.
I have a real problem with with owners of properties that have recently made a purchase after the planned use has gone into place, because that creates a hardship that I don't want personally to be a part of. And I understand what you're saying, Mary. I don't know. I don't know how to resolve this, but I know that if there was a change and I had purchased a property within a few months of that change, and then I'm stuck with this property and unable to.
Purchased it 8 months after the land use plan was approved. I think there's some responsibility on the part of the realtor to, convey.
Where does a realtor find the land use plan? Because I wouldn't know as a
It's on the
realtor.
city's website. It's on the PDA's website. I attended the meeting they did in our neighborhood at South Broadway Athletic Club.
I did as well.
I didn't see you there.
I saw you.
That's good.
But
Yeah.
I didn't know when because that to me was, they were talking about it. They didn't say, this is it, this is what we're doing, when is it available? I didn't know when it went into effect. As a realtor, it's not been as, it's in effect, it's done. This is where you go. I know as a realtor,
Well, we're getting off the
St.
subject here.
Louis realtors hasn't been educated on it.
I think that's important. This has come up before with the Historic Preservation Board, where we've had new historic districts changes, and this is tough, and especially as an owner who's made the purchase. And again, I agree with Mary, and I agree that at some point we do have to start to look at the new plan. We should be looking at it currently, but I think that looks different from a lessee versus an owner.
Okay. Do you want a motion to table this, Anthony?
Yeah, I'll
make a motion to table this until he comes back with a site plan. He comes back with a parking lot plan. And what else do you want him to come back with?
Information on
the tanks,
any brownfields.
Okay, that's my motion.
So did you want to leave? I had also written down at some point, you talked about wanting to know about the contractor that he's going to use.
I don't think that's necessary.
Okay, so then what I have is that we'll continue it for additional information.
Up to 90 days.
You want a 90 days. Okay.
Up to 90 days, Mary.
You want a dimensioned parking lot layout. You want information about any brownfields issues.
Yes.
And then you want, what did you want on the site plan? Somebody said, I have written down that you want a site plan, but I wasn't sure what it is that you want.
I think that
I
said
the parking lot layout.
Yeah,
plan?
that's the same thing.
Okay,
That's
so
what I
we're
meant.
just asking for two things then, the dimensioned parking lot layout plan, and any information in regard to brownfield.
Yeah.
Is that the correct way to say that?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
my motion.
And
Jim,
did you second that moment?
Jim, I think Jim.
Is that Jim? No, I didn't.
I will.
hear
I don't think anybody has seconded, but I will second it.
Okay. Motion made by Mel, seconded by Jim. Again, I'm going to call a roll. Mel,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Mona,
No.
Joe,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Motion carries.
So it doesn't need any type of,
No.
No.
okay. Yeah, okay. So then-
Um, okay. Appeal number 20604, 1921 South 9th Street.
That's the party hall, the event center.
Preservation Hall.
Preservation.
Yes.
Thank you, Mona. Thank you.
Yes.
I've been through this building. I've had a client that was looking to turn it into residential and there was no way. So it's a single use building. It is definitely a event center. They got some parking, which is more than most places in Soulard. So I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
They didn't give us an hour operation, did they?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
8 a.m. to midnight.
7
That's
days a
fine.
week.
7 days.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Like them to have a dumpster,
Yeah.
trash
Sure.
can out front.
I don't know if the sidewalk's big enough for it.
It is. Ask me. It is.
There's actually, I think there might be a trash can at that corner. I know
Sid may have
That's
already
the
put
corner. That's not the building. No. There needs to be a sign permit.
Yeah, that's all
Nuisance-
standard stuff that should be there anyway.
Nuisance ordinance.
Yeah,
Do we
Yeah,
have standard
gotta include
conditions
that one.
on event centers, Mary?
No, we don't have any
No. Okay.
restrictions on that. We do have some just sort of miscellaneous conditions that you can consider for any use, really.
That's all I had written down. So,
Okay.
If you want me to read those to you.
Sure.
So one is hours of operation. We have already colored that. The next one is a dumpster. We've covered that. The next one is the refuse container. The next one says there shall be no selling of liquor, alcohol, or non-intoxicating beer on the premise at any given time. I don't know if you need that because he's not applying for a
No,
liquor
because
license.
he could bring a caterer in that has a liquor license that they can
Right.
cater.
Exactly.
That was a no.
Okay, so then the fifth one is they can't sell anything drug paraphernalia related, which really doesn't relate to him because he's not retail. There shall be a no loitering sign for which the petitioner must post no loitering. There's probably not much space for anyone to loiter there, to be honest with you. There shall be no vending ATM machines or payphones on the exterior of the premise at any given time. There isn't now, but if you want to put that on there, you can.
Mm,
Okay, the next one is the petition, oh, this is the sign permit, so we got that covered. And then the next one says there shall be no temporary signage on the premise or posted to the exterior of the windows or exterior or interior of the windows or doors of the establishment at any given time.
sure.
So,
I mean, it's
yes
Joe's
on that
motion.
and the sign. Yes on the sign.
Okay.
permit.
And then number 10 is a sign permit one again. Number 11 is all windows and doors must have no boards, mesh, grate material, or coverings of any kind. Windows and doors may have proper blinds or curtains on the inside of the windows.
Yes. I
Okay.
think. What do you?
Sure. Number 12 is the facility shall not have cord or rope type LED lighting surrounding or framing its windows or doors.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's tacky.
Okay. And then number 12 says the petitioner shall install appropriate landscaping. There's not really any place to put landscaping where he wouldn't have to bust up concrete, so I don't know if that really appears.
No.
Number 14, the premises shall be issued or shall not be issued a public nuisance notice. Did we get that? Yeah, we had that one.
You got that one.
And then number 15 is the petitioner will abide by the City of St. Louis noise ordinance number 68130 or its successor ordinances.
That's fine.
Not sure how much louder he could be than 1860s Molly's and all that. That's right there. But yeah, if you want it, we'll put it.
No,
Should we insist that he keeps the 17 parking spaces? Is that a condition we can put in there?
No, he doesn't need them. I mean, he's got them, but he doesn't necessarily have to have them according to the ordinance, right, Mary?
Well, this is a strange one because we couldn't really determine the parking because this is in the D district where this use is not allowed. So there is no parking requirement for it in the D district. So effectively, if you're giving him a variance, you're giving him a variance for
Parking.
However, we know he owns the lot across the street. That lot is very well signed, and I know many people have gotten towed there because they didn't think anybody would do anything about it. So if you're driving around Soulard and it's really busy, but you see that empty lot, don't park there unless you're going to this place because they will tow you.
Okay, so we don't need to really do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's
Used
appropriate.
to not, but they do now.
Yes.
Evan, you've got your hand.
Yeah, I just, for context, the previous variance for a similar use, but without the alcohol, had a condition that they have a lease agreement with that location across the street.
But they own it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they own it.
Well, I think it was.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but
I
we do
remember
lease agreements for folks under the same ownership. I'm just, for context, you don't have to do this, and I don't care either way. I just letting you
I'm
know.
saying, but they already own it, so we don't have to worry about lease agreement.
So I think if we require those 17 parking spots, that would I agree with Evan. I think we either require the 17 parking spots that they own, or that, which, you know, I don't. I lease agreement. I mean, we could do that. I would require the 17 parking spots as part of our condition.
Okay, that's it then.
So, are you trying to do a condition where you tie the parking spots at whatever the address, we can figure it out, of that parking lot, that they shall be, that he shall maintain the 17 parking spaces that he currently owns located at blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
830 Geyer, or no.
Yes. Whatever
830
it is.
Geyer. 830 Geyer is the address, Mary.
And
That
it
is-
was 7 parking spaces to be exact?
Yes, it was 17.
Okay.
Mona, there's two lots there that have his name on it. It's 830 Geyer, and then the one just to the south of it. And I bet you that's in total where the 17 comes from.
Yeah. So yes, that he maintained those 17.
You
spots.
can verify that address for us, Mary, but I think it's 830 Geyer.
He maintains the 17 spots, whatever address they are.
Yeah.
That's the motion, wasn't it, Tony, Anthony?
That's all I.
Yes.
Is that my motion or yours, Anthony?
That's your motion.
It's
Joe.
everyone's motion.
No,
that's everyone's involved, but that's your motion. And
I make the motion.
all right, motion made by Joe, seconded by Mona, with all of the conditions that we all provided.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a group effort.
All in favor? Come on, Anthony. I gotta go.
Okay. Okay.
I'm late.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Mona. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Mardell.
Appeal number
Findings.
0607. 5,001.
Findings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Findings. Forgive me.
Will not be a detriment as condition.
Sorry about that. Mel's got me rushing now. All right.
This is the easy one.
5001 Mardell Avenue.
I'll make a motion. I live down south. That's a great use for that place. I'd make a motion to approve with
second.
condition that the hours 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. I'm sorry.
I have 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. 7 days a week.
7 days a
I
week. That's right.
just made easy. Mary, I just said 9.
Yeah, that's fine. So 6 to 9, 7 days a week.
That's it. Yeah. And then they have to have a dumpster.
And a trash receptacle.
Trash receptacle.
Yeah,
left.
trash receptacle. Okay. That's my motion.
No
I'll
nuisance.
second.
And signage and whatever, any signage has to be permitted. No nuisance.
Motion's made by Mel. We need a second.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mel, seconded by Joe. All of those in favor?
Aye.
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 All of those opposed? Motion carries. Findings, Mel.
Not be a detriment.
Okay, finally, appeal number 11984.
I want this. I mean, I won't make the motion, but if I have to, I will. But I want this guy to go back, see the the neighborhood, and the alderperson because I
I
don't.
just soon deny it personally.
Yeah,
It
that's fine.
sounds like they shouldn't be
That's-
building another house there.
I-
With
That
all
is my
the
motion,
problems
that we
that they
deny
have
it.
there. What,
I'm all fair with it. You gonna make a motion to uphold the building commissioner?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Mona. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And chair abstains. Motion carries.
I want to bring something back to you, Mary. I just was looking at the address for the parking lot.
Which one is this?
Oh.
The
1921 South 9th Street. When
okay.
you're looking for that address, try 1906 South 9th Street for those parking spots.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's got 830 Geyer and 1906 South 9th.
Okay. Thank you.
Just
Mhm.
trying to. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, meeting minutes.
I don't think we have any today. Yeah. We had some people out of the office, so we were late getting the minutes to Mia, and I'm sure she didn't have time to get through them. So sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, good. I thought maybe I missed something, Mary. I thought for sure.
Any new business?
Just a couple of things. We do not have a meeting next week because of the holiday. I do want to let you know, because it's come up today, that the consulting team will be back in town the first week of December. So, if you need to have a conversation with them, we can try to set something up. Their schedule's pretty tight, so it could be a very late in the day kind of meeting thing. If not, they'll be in town a number of times before this is all over, so we can certainly start that. And then the third thing I want to remind everybody is to please take a look at your new rules and regulations. I would specifically like for everyone, particularly Mona and Mel, to look at number 3, A through D. This meeting is led by the chairman, and I am very disappointed in what I think was very disrespectful treatment towards the chairman when we were in the middle of the second appeal and Mona and Mel were trying to end the hearing. That is Mr. Robinson's position to do. He runs the meetings.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I'd like for everyone to please read your new rules and regulations. These are the rules and regulations that you voted on. We put all of your edits and comments into it. So please follow them.
My apologies, Mel or Anthony.
Mine too. I'm sorry.
No problem. Anything else?
I have
I just
nothing.
want to just want to thank everybody for giving me a chance here. This is my first meeting. I thought it went well. I'm glad I'm participating. Thank you.
We appreciate
Welcome
you,
aboard,
Jim.
Jim.
Thank you.
We hope you come back.
Okay. Can I hear a
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Mel. All of those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
Whatever
you.
we're going
Adjourn.
See
into.
you before Thanksgiving, won't we? It's Veterans Day that we
You never know.
Yeah, it's better.
Long way
Yeah,
off.
you're a holiday off, Joe.
Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Good
guys.
See you
night.
guys.
Good night.
Good night.